Hey, what's up, everyone? Of course, today I am bringing you the Movie Collection 2 checklist, and we're going to go through and review every card. And I have two guests with me right now. We might get another, but I have Mark Bulger and Joey Conifer, or Coniger. Which one is it, Joey?
Well, correct pronunciation is Conager, but
Okay,
this is my hobby account. So
okay, well, Coniger. So, we are, like I said, we're going to go through these cards and we will kind of give our thoughts on each one of them. And then at the end, we're just going to kind of talk about the whole set. And I know everyone's very different, I feels like, on how they feel about this set. I have my opinion. I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. But I hope you guys enjoy. So anyway, we'll start by going on the list with Black Mist. You may banish this card from your hand as an action to banish a styled event from your discard pile. If you do, play a copy of that event. This is all parenthetical. And then the power, discard a card from your hand, return this card to your hands. I really like this card.
depends on how reliant your events are, or how reliant are you on events. I could see TN using this with the self mill, but I'm not sure where else. I mean, there's a good number. Okay, I'm seeing it. Never mind.
You also can't argue the synergy it has with Black in general. Someone, I don't know who it was, kept arguing on Retro, saying something along the lines of, when are you going to run like Black Scout Maneuver? When was the last time you're going to use that? And I generally agree. There are some weird ones you're not going to use it for, but there are really good events you can trigger off of this. It's not for every deck, but it is a pretty solid card.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not a staple. It's going to be really niche. A lot of niche decks are going to run this. I think, I think the best, in my opinion, the best deck that could run this for consistency's sake is Black Invitation. Decks that run that card, because it'll give you incentive to not banish it for endurance, and it'll, being able to just, pop Black Mist in your hand when you want to pop a deck like the Invitation off, or just letting invitations and maybe Black Taunts in the pile. This card with Black Taunt is fucking atrocious, I think, because if your opponent enters on you and you held Mist, being able to taunt someone when they might have a really fire hand is going to be good. It's going to be something that they have to worry about when entering on you. I mean, in general, we're seeing so much pile play with this set, especially. I think it's going to be neat. It's going to be neat to see how people use this, I think. And I do like that it is discard synergy. That's something that people have been craving forever.
Yeah, no, my only issue is it feels like you said before. I'm going to use the term pigeonhole a lot, I'm sure, when we're talking about this, but it feels like it's pigeonholed into a very specific type of deck. And it's really not going to, a lot of these cards are really not going to see a lot of play except for in specific decks, I think.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to number 2. And speaking of specific, it doesn't get more specific than Black Research. This card is fucking hilarious. The image.
It's probably one of the best cards, the best card arts in the game right now.
Yes, I 100% agree.
I think
I'm not saying that because I just made Shower. So
yeah, I'm gonna bring up Black Shower while we're talking about it here, but this card, I love this card. This card was made for me. This is the closest thing to a Wheelo name card we're gonna get in this game.
I don't think it gets much better for Wheeler than this. This thing is incredible. You can't argue. It's just so good. I every time I look at it, I'm like, why would you give Wheelo support? But then I remember Wheelo is Wheelo, so
it's
threat is it really?
I was a Red Wheelo fan, but now I'm like, why bother?
There's no reason.
I mean, Red Wheelo is way different than than Black, I feel. Like the red is well, it depends on how you build it too. So Red Wheelo for me, I love this proxy. This Joey made this Black Shower, by the way, guys. It's awesome. But I feel like Red Wheelo can run mill, but it's running drills and it's running you're going to be doing anger as a resource kind of stuff. I feel like
the way I felt it is that you are right. Anger is a resource. It's not, trying to get you to level, or it's not trying to always try to get you to level. But where I saw when I did Red Wheelo, I was like, I'm going to be poking you, milling you for 3, try to mill you for 3 every combat with Channel Surfing Drill. I think it was Channel Surfing Drill. And then just try to keep that loop going with
Yeah, channel surfing and speedy drill are one of my favorite two combos.
Speedy Drew.
You discard a drill, mill them 3, and then you draw if it was styled, and then you rejuve
So
with speedy.
So yeah,
The 2.
I'm gonna try to hit you with like one attack worth of straight mill
Yeah.
per combat.
And you can potentially draw too, so that's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the good thing about mill, like, is that you don't have to worry about endurance. And we've seen in FanZ, especially this last 2 sets, a lot of cards have big endurance on them to make them playable, which I think has had to happen between damage going up and cards just needing to. Honestly, endurance is a big reason why I run some cards over, like the older cards that are really really powerful. From the early
At least you have to at least take that into consideration when building, because I've made a lot of decks where I'm like, okay, I've packed every piece of tech I want in here, but one attack will crit me every single time, so it becomes kind of an issue.
And that's the thing. Yeah, I guess it's getting on topic a little bit, but we'll have to bring that up at the end of the set. But Black Research, anyway, I'll just read it. It's villains only. If it's destroyed from your life deck, you place it into play. It's a setup within 1 endurance, and then its power says if your highest power level on your MP level 4 is 500,000 or less, you destroy the top 3 of your opponent's life deck. And if your opponent controls no setups, you shuffle it into your life deck after you. So there's obvious synergy, I think, with Black Perceptive here. Like, you're going to want to knock this off your deck. You're going to want to kill all your opponent's setups so you can put it back in your deck. And the 2 MPs that have most synergy with it are going to be Wheelo and Tau. And I don't see Tau running this, though, to be honest. Tau decks are going to be focusing... Tau decks are going to run, like, Black Reflex and, like, Capture Package and Attach Package before they're going to hit this. Like, I don't know where Tau's going to find room for this card. So this to me just seems like Wheelo.
If we ever get a villain TN set from, like, a Dragon Ball set, that's an instant include.
Oh hell yeah. That'd be pretty dank.
Actually, that's actually disgusting to think about, and I hope I'm not playing this game anymore at that point.
Oh god, I'd love to, like, preparation.
I love TN.
Oh man,
TN was like set 4 when I was like really getting into this game. TN was my pick. Set 4, set 5.
Yeah, I loved Enraged TN set too. And my friend Nick Rodriguez loves TN, so we'll talk about TN more when we get to some cards here. But next card's going to be Black Grudge Drill. If this card's discarded from your hand during combat, you place it into play. Constant effect, whenever you deal critical damage, you may choose a card in your opponent's discard pile and banish it. I think that's pretty neat. I know a lot of decks are starting to use their pile a lot more, so this might actually come in pretty handy since you get to choose the card. And then
Black Krillin.
For sure.
It's going to be loving this drill.
Yeah, I could see Black Krillin definitely. Yeah, conflict specifically is probably where you're gonna find this card. But I guess this could kind of combo with Black Mist. I don't know if those the decks that are gonna be running Black Mist, I don't know, are really gonna be pushing crit damage. But I guess we'll see.
This, like I said, I think it's pretty much stuck to Conflict Mastery.
Yeah.
And Conflict Mastery only at this point.
Which we get to the instant power you use after you discard a card from your hand. By mastery effect, you draw a card. So this works against other masteries like Mischievous, but it works specifically like with Conflict and Mischievous is really where you're going to be seeing this card get some play. And so what's nice is Conflict's really been itching for like action economy since that mastery pretty much just kind of trades a card from your hand for board action instead. Like, you only get 1 action out of it. You don't gain anything out of that master, so this is going to be staple for Conflict decks. That camp, absolutely.
I'm very curious to see if this actually can put Conflict Mastery out of the its complete dog shit category.
Well, and that's, I mean, Tommy Andre, man, Conflict fucking Supreme Kai. We
I don't count Tournament of Power. Tommy Andre is a fantastic player, and I'm not discrediting him at all, but I do not count Tournament of Power.
I just think the Mischievous version is so much better than the Conflict version. I'm pretty sure he even said so himself that the Mischievous version was better.
Holy shit. Speaking of a devil, here's like one of the guests. I didn't even know you were lurking around. What's up, Trevor?
What's up?
Dang, man. I was thinking about people to try to invite because Ryan couldn't make it, but I'm glad you're here. Yeah. I saw... Yeah, I like this card though. I think this is the right card. I like the design so far for Black. This set is a lot of the cards are very specific to a certain mastery, and they're trying to They know that Mischievous doesn't need any more help, so they've been giving cards to decks like Perceptive and Conflict. I like that.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thrilled about that, and hopefully, whatever mastery comes out for, I think they said set 13 is a mastery one, right? So hopefully, the next one isn't completely ridiculous with this drill.
Right on.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, so we'll swing to the next card. We got Black Mischief. Trevor, so you know, we're doing a set review right now. So we're on to Black Mischief. We're just going down the list.
For sure.
Event with 3 endurance. I like this already. And then it says if it's destroyed from your life deck by one of your effects, you can rejuvenate it to choose a card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your life deck. Amazing.
TN.
TN.
That screams TN right there.
TN, Wheelo, Perceptive, like, oh my, especially TN though, like, this in Black Annihilation, I'm going to bring that up while I'm talking about it, but this reminds me of Black Annihilation, like, Annihilation says you, like, rejuvenate it in the bottom card of your discard pile when you mill it. This card and Annihilation are going to keep Perceptive decks in the game, and TN in the game a lot longer.
Cards are we away from TN having every single mill effect trigger something? Because I know we're up to like 9, right?
We need to banish an ally.
And the black style or just freestyle?
Black style. Black, specifically if you're playing Black Perceptive, or even you can play it in Mischievous, but TN.
Is there an anger, like an anger razor? That if you destroy it, you raise your anger?
No. I'm waiting for one of those kind of effects, though. I would like to see.
Well, I mean, there's one in Saiyan now.
We'll get to that card. That card is awesome. We'll get to that card, though. But anyway, we'll read the rest of the facts here. Power, look at the top 5 of your... So if you draw this, Power, look at the top 5 of a player's life deck. You put them back in any order. Reveal the top card of your opponent's life deck. If it's not a Dragon Ball, you banish it. If you have a Saiyan trait, raise your anger 2 levels.
So that just screams Vegeta.
Really? You think Vegeta with this card?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, Vegeta in general.
You think Vegeta...
Because it's just the raise your anger 2, look at a deck, banish it, level up, they skip or pass, and then like he can see whether if you want to pass as well or something like that. Plus has endurance 3.
Sounds like I need this in set 1 Perceptive Gohan.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too, to be honest. Some dog shit Gohan.
Oh my god. Honestly, Perceptive Gohan ball running like every... Because you could mill yourself, you mill this. Mill can't be interrupted.
Yeah.
It's got that set 1 Trunks feeling.
Yeah, would you put... Let's say you milled this in a ball, would your ball go to the bottom first? Or where'd this go?
Yeah, let's go. I take one of your effects, may rejuvenate it. I think it depends on what comes out first. If the ball comes out first and the ball goes.
Okay. Well, that could be pretty fun, because you could... Oh, well, I suppose you shuffle your deck anyway. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's not really. But it's the parenthetical that triggers, so you wouldn't shuffle.
Right,
What's cool is you could just get yourself in like a loop of like Mischief, Annihilation, and Balls. So you're just like repeatedly... If you could like have like... If you had some way to keep... I'm trying to think of like effects like... Yeah, like Guardian Drill and like... If you had like Kami's Guardian Drill or Black Recollection Drill, you could just like mill only Annihilations and Mischiefs and Balls and just kill your opponent. It'd be so silly. You would just like leave Mischiefs and Annihilations with the Mischiefs and Annihilations.
Unless they enter on you once and do any attack, and then you lose.
Well, Combat Ender, baby.
What a comp.
I don't know. Super silly, though. I like this card a lot. The Saiyan trait's the goofiest part about it. I like that it banishes, though, but I hate that it doesn't work with Android programming, because they have to reveal the card.
Yeah. It's kind of wonky. I don't get why you'd give a Raise Your Anger 2 for specifically Saiyans when we have a Speed Anger Vegeta, though I don't think Majin Vegeta is going to run this, to be honest.
Speed Anger Vegeta in black?
Yeah, why not? Or not Speed Anger, but I mean like that grindy 2 anger. Remember how Android 13 in black used to be?
I was thinking more Bardock and like maybe Broly with this card, especially Bardock, looking at their top.
Bardock secretly got a bunch of support this set in a couple of styles.
Oh, hell yeah.
Completely forgot Bardock was an MP.
Bardock 1 and 2, destroying this card from your deck, potentially. Getting the anger off Bardock. Bardock doesn't care about playing attacks, honestly. In my experience with Black Mistress Bardock likes just playing blocks for anger, the effects on the Mastery and the Search on level 1 for anger, and then running this card so you don't have to play into a block would be pretty dank.
The only problem is you have to have some sort of damage, because towards the end, especially if they have balls, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, balls and freestyle cards, depending on what level you end up on.
You're going to focus on black captures, or at least a way to get a capture to land.
Well, I think, yeah, like Sinchoke especially is a good closer for him. Maybe even assisted. We'll see. I could see maybe even Conflict Bardock because of the Black Grunge drill. Even you could, probably not. I don't know.
Black conflict with Grudge Drill and assisted.
Yeah, I mean that's a combo. So
It's not terrible. I mean, these are fun, like, casual decks, but
yeah,
will they ever be competitive? Probably not.
I think as far as good decks for this, though, Tien and Wheelo are gonna love this card.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
I agree.
cool card. We'll get to a final black card here, I believe. Black check.
This card's really good.
Discard from your hand during combat, gain 3 stages. Choose 3 cards to your opponent's discard pile and banish them. Awesome. Only usable with conflict, probably, or you're gonna have to play. Yeah.
Or against mischievous, or stare down.
Well, I suppose if somebody hits you with it, yeah, it's a discard effect. But it's more for me. I think consistency's sake, you're gonna see it in, like, maybe a Black Piccolo build. This is gonna be
So say Black Piccolo level 3 and banish 8 cards.
Absolutely, that'd be pretty awesome.
That's not bad, but I think you're discrediting the fact that it's 2 endurance, anger control for both yourself and your opponent.
I haven't even got to the other part yet, but thanks to ruin it, man.
I'm rushing ahead.
Every card needs a parenthetical these days.
Purely as a parenthetical, this card's awesome. Totally agree, Trevor. But yeah, it stops the physical attack, raise your anger 1, lower your opponent's anger 1, endurance 2. This is the new staple. This card's the new staple. This card, I didn't like running black stock because it didn't have endurance. I'm going to run this card and hug maneuver every black anger deck. Black Piccolo with this card is going to be amazing. So much stage gain.
It's incredible.
Mike Teagues loves Black Mistress Piccolo. It's going to be an awesome card for it. I'm going to say this deck. I'm going to say this is going to be like pretty much a fair amount of conflict decks too. So we have the first blue card is Blue Agility. This card. So you can only have 1 attached. It's a setup. It says power attached to your MP. Lower your opponent's anger 2 levels. While attached, your physical attack still +1 stages of damage. You gain hit. Lower your opponent's anger 1.
It's a gimp. It's a gimped Red Ruthless when entering combat effect.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Resourceful Mastery was already Red Ruthless. So this card with Resourceful Mastery, you are pretty much Ruthless Mastery, except you lower their anger 2 instead.
Well, to get started, and then if you hit, you lower them 1.
And here's the best part, is you don't have to run styled cards for this to give the hit lower anger. And to get the +1 modifier. I think that's probably the best part about it, is you can turn MP level attacks, I'll dig your graves, dashing punches, whatever.
This with Biting Drill is pretty gross with Resourceful Mastery because you keep triggering off the.
And they're
you potentially keep milling.
There's separate instances too. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
I've been talking to somebody about doing a mill deck, and someone came up with the idea of like a Hercule where
oh my god,
Dynamite Kick just keeps milling them with Biting Drill. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Spoilers. Enjoy that. Enjoy that nonsense that's coming out. I'm going to take credit for it.
I could say Blue Hercule.
That's Tommy who came up with that.
Blue Hercule Attach. Yeah, Blue Hercule is another attach card. Not to mention, you have belts. You could go get an ally, and then Blue Security to way to go get Biting Drill. Or you could
Belt also gets you Dynamite Kick to keep getting that loop going. So.
Oh my
Gross
god! That's actually
pretty underrated. This set, and it's kind of disgusting.
We are gonna, Tommy Schiebel is a guy I was actually kind of messaging a little bit about some stuff, but yeah.
Spot on with that suggestion.
That is.
It was with the Hercule. I was like, how do we make it a mill deck? He goes, well, Hercule will make it mill this, and this. I was like, holy shit.
Oh my god! Yeah, I want to definitely try. So we won't try to spoil every little combo, but that's a really cool combo. That's a really outside of the box. Granted, I guess you'd have to start thinking about who's got the most physicals that can get used to this. But yeah, that is awesome. I like that combo a lot. Cool card though. I'm gonna be curious to see how this card shakes out between, and if it's gonna make Resourceful a lot more playable for sure.
I think so. I mean, I think Resourceful was already at the point that, like, with just the smallest more amount of support, it was going to explode. We're not quite there yet, just a little bit more, and I think Resourceful is going to be the best. One of the best Blue Masters I've ever seen.
It just needs a better physical. It just needs, like, one better physical with some endurance.
Something like a tempo. If they get anything like a tempo, and that thing is going to explode.
I think we got a card that it needed already right now, which we'll get to. It's what's coming up, but I think it's about to be potentially tier 1 with some MPs finally. I really do feel with some of these new cards I got.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So first we'll hit Blue Sword Mastery Drill. This is pretty much Red Swordplay Drill, except instead of making them lose a stage, they lower in anger. But if you want to know what that card does, what this card does, of course, it says when this card enters play during combat, if it is the first time a card titled Blue Sword Mastery Drill has entered play this turn, then you may search your discard pile for an attack with a sword in the title and place it into your hand. And like I said, whenever you place a card with sword in the title, lower your opponent's anger 1 as a constant.
Meh.
Yeah, right now blue doesn't have good drill search. Red's going to ultimately be still the better sword deck, and then I would argue black is still the better one if you're Deborah. Trunks likes one more. I think Trunks likes red the best. I
got my ass kicked by a sword tag Trunks deck by Didier the other day.
Yeah, tag Trunks. Yeah, you know what, tag. You do like even Vengeance ones, and then you tag for briefs. It's pretty good. I haven't played that deck I haven't played a Briefs Trunks deck since Evolution set. I played Evo Trunks or no, not Evolution. I'm fucking smoking. I did make that deck. Sorry, I did make.
Talk to your opponent.
It's fun.
Didier's let's kick my ass. Those adaptive Yamcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm still unconvinced on sword Trunks tagging for briefs. I think
it's like tag Vegeta in terms of advantage. Why not? And then your level 1 brings you card advantage.
Because you're not buffing your. I'm not going to get into the differences between that Trunks and Vegeta, but
well, you don't get a buff.
I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet.
You don't get a buff, but you get aggressive sword drill.
It's true, and you also get the ability to use knee bash. Knee bash is probably one of the best name cards we have. Yeah. It's just if there's any pile hate, which I think a lot of people are going to start putting into their decks, you're not going to really be able to loop knee bash as much as you were before.
Well, what pile hate are people going to run though? Like pulverized dev blow is like really it. Energy toss.
I mean, it depends.
There's few decks that can run energy toss though, so those are actually going to be some of the people we'll talk about later. But
exactly, that's why I didn't want to get too much into it. But yeah, energy toss is going to be a really big card.
Sounds like Black Piccolo with Black Check.
Well, yeah. But I don't want to jump too far ahead, but malicious intent to go into a deck to get rid of knee bash, it's pretty good.
Or I could just knee bash the malicious intent. Rest in peace.
Oh, it works both ways.
hey man, I can tutor aggressive sword drill turn 1. I just need a combat.
But what if you're freezing? You get it back.
Anyway, we'll hop into the next. We'll hop into the next card here. Blue Crushing Blow. This card's interesting. This is really interesting.
I should like it a lot.
I already know when I'm putting this in my copy Frieza deck.
Literally, the first thing I thought.
It's so good in my copy Frieza deck.
I wish Copy Frieza had I wish the meta was consistently beats decks, so then Copy Frieza would just come in and copy the best. I don't know. The problem is you're so at the mercy of what your opponent plays, but damn, is it fun? It's a fun deck.
I play a triple threat version, and it's so much fun.
Oh my god, I used to have a deck like that.
In old level 2.
In set 2, I had a deck like that, or set 3. Sorry.
My locals had one like that in set 1. And it's the first time I ever saw that one that event that bounced a Dragon Ball back to somebody's hand. I was like, what the hell am I looking at right now? Yeah, Reprimand.
I miss Blue Trap Strike. That's the card I miss playing.
Was it the double attack? If
I run that 2 up now.
Yeah, double attack if you got AT3 raise.
And it raises or lowers a player's anger 1, so it's also anger manipulation on both sides.
So good.
So anyway, Blue Crushing Blow. Lower physical attack. Lower your opponent's anger 2 if you have alien trait. Already pretty cool. All right. Either does 5 life cards or 5 stages. I really like that. That you get to choose. And I really like that it's a flat 5 stages, so it's actually going to be able to knock some AT off people if you need to. And then it says, hit, if you use the power of a drill to perform an attack this combat, you may draw a card. Banish after use.
I mean, that's pretty solid, especially if you're running that copy drill. I think there's also that other new attack drill, right?
Yeah, I think even without... this is going to be a good card for Resourceful, matter of fact, when we go back to Resourceful Copic. Because you have the blue pacing drill, that's a physical attack from the last set, or sorry, set 10 that says perform a physical attack doing 1 stage of damage. You have charging drill, which is an energy attack. You have recuperating drill, like you said, to perform an attack, copied attack.
And I like this card a lot. I think it opens a lot of combo possibilities. It's a little bit sequencing dependent, but I mean, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think this is a card that's going to get better as Blue Drill gets better support.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Same
this
thing
is something, right? A couple sets down the road, this could be disgusting.
Yeah, same thing with Swordplay Drill. Those cards are going to get better in more sets, for sure. They're good, but they just need the support. Alrighty. Either way, I think I could see it getting some play this set with some Blue Frieza. Maybe Blue Cooler even, but probably Blue Frieza.
And Bojack could potentially make use of it.
That's true, Bojack. Blue Chilled.
Chilled.
So here's the final...
Your life card damage.
Speaking of sword, here's the final blue card, and this card is why I think... This is probably the biggest reason why I think Blue Resourceful could be tier 1 this set. This card is fucking insane. We start with 3 Endurance, physical combat card. Blue Sword Rush is a physical attack that lowers your opponent's anger 1. Your styled setups this combat gain shuffle into your deck after use. 5-stage physical. Dear God, this thing is busted.
It's
Resourceful, yep. Resourceful. Going back to Trunks, resourceful. Set 6 Trunks. It's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it does. It's on the surface. It doesn't. There's not too much to delve into this particular card. It's so good. It's just so good. There's nothing mysterious about it. You know exactly what it does, and it does it really well.
Yeah, I mean, it plays into the whole build up your board state, throw 4 setup attacks into combat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna. One of the issues I have with playing Resourceful is like having blue tempo and lunge whiff. This card's gonna help their consistency a ton. And it's not bad to use. It's silly. This card is so silly. Being able to decap this card for certain combats.
Ouch.
I think the hidden OP part is that this isn't restricted to setup attacks. This shuffles any setup that you play that's a styled setup.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I have a few decks in mind that are going to use this card very well, and maybe you'll see some of them in some of my videos. Wink, wink.
Ooh.
But either way, probably I think that was. Oh wait, we got one more blue card. How could I forget about this card? I previewed this card. Matter of fact. I won't delve too deep in it, but if you want to watch the Drink Z stream, we did preview this. We had some good banter on it. But Blue Static Blast, entry attack, costing 2 stages. Your opponents cannot use Endurance on your styled attacks this combat. Damages 5 life cards. Hit lower your opponent's anger 2. This is the blue counterpart to blue Red Static Shot. I love this card.
I love the art they put with it. That's so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
I've always loved this card, especially since set 1 when it first came out. But supporting something we were talking about before the stream started was Blue Ally Gohan with this card is going to be insane.
Yeah. Awakening Gohan making all of your ally attack styled. Dear God. Just in the same way that like free Jito with allies is like fuck. This is going to be probably better, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a scary card.
Fucking silly.
I just realized. Damn. I did really just realize that.
Yeah, I'm scared about Blue Gohan Ally this set. It's gonna be fucking nuts.
I don't think there's enough hate, like ally hate, in this game to handle Blue Gohan right now.
Yeah, it's just a matter of people playing it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Either way,
it's a hard deck to pilot, honestly.
Someone think of a red deck.
I don't think so. I think that deck is just spam allies out and then make sure that you just keep the correct tech one out the entire matchup and you can win.
So someone make a red Hercule deck so you can shoulder grab into.
Oh yeah, dynamic kick shoulder grab for the Gohan. Saucy Gohan tech. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. This card is sexy though. Blue Energy needs some buffs. I still don't think Blue Pure Energy is going to be too amazing because you still need a board clear.
Yeah.
But that'll tie into
Man, I hope they do a blue observation.
Oh god. Blue observation, except you gotta like kill an ally or something. You lower their anger.
I was gonna say make it only blow up allies or something like.
Blue wash, man. Just play blue wash. Shuffle all allies and play, and then go grab.
There you go.
And then go grab another one with it.
And then there's that Saiyan card where it's like hit, banish an ally, shuffle an ally in, destroy an ally, and like one of
destructive blast.
Saiyan destruction or something. Destructive blast, yeah.
That card is so silly. Like
with Broly, think about Broly with that.
Oh my god.
There goes all your allies.
Yeah, we'll get to Broly, but yes, that card is going to be pretty saucy, potentially. So we'll move on to Namekian. I think Namekian got the perfect cards this set for their style. I think Blue got, so far I think Black got really good cards for like their tier 2 and 3 decks, which is perfect. That's what they needed. I think Blue got cards for a lot of their tier 2 decks, and got a couple for their tier 1 decks in the blue static blast category. But I think Namekian Determination helps bring Enlightened to tier 1. And I think it was already pretty good. It just suffered so bad to Mistress, it wasn't worth playing. But Namekian Determination, set up with Endurance 2. If this card's discarded from your hand by a card effect, you play it instead. Already super cool. Piccolo's gonna love this card in any.
How does this work with Ascension? If you pop this power with when you use, I think it's Ascension, right?
Because it says instead. I don't think it would work.
Gotcha. Okay. Place of that, like, what are you doing in that point? Because, I like that. Don't get me wrong. I guess you're using it in the turns you're not grabbing Ascension. I don't know. It's definitely good and Enlightened. I just don't feel like you're gonna be.
This card does not work well with Ascension for multiple reasons. We'll get to the second effect on it as an example. So, power, an instant effect. Whenever you, use when you card effect would discard a card from your hand, you can choose not to discard. So that alone, between that and the parenthetical, this card and Namekian Ascension don't work very well together.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a card maybe you hold over Ascension, or you can play in Sublimation with it, but it's going to be just to like make it so that your discards in Namekian are that much saucier.
Ascension or Enlightened?
No, we're talking about Namekian Ascension,
sorry,
right?
Namekian Enlightened, you're correct. Namekian Enlightened Mastery, which I'm going to bring that up
Hey, let me pull the card
while we're doing it. But yeah. So then another power on it, because this card does not have enough effects on it. This is power, gain 5 status, rejuvenate 1. Instantly viable with Knowledge Mastery, instantly viable with Enlightened Mastery. You could even, I suppose you could run it in Radiant. I don't know what specific, there's no specific synergy between this card and Radiant, unless you're using like a discard effect MP, like Gohan 2, Awakening, or you're using Piccolo's Revelation stack. But this card is super sexy. I love this card. I love this card. So good.
There's definitely uses for it, but
I mean, this card can give you this card can give you what? 3 anger with Evolution Piccolo and Knowledge Mastery. This card, instead of going to your pile, you can use it. What's so good is you discard it to Piccolo Revelation. I think that's probably its best use in terms of, or Gohan 2. You activate the instant power. Or Piccolo.
Yeah, okay, I see that. That's a good point.
Yeah, you don't have to discard.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Gohan gets a huge buff with this card. That's really good.
It's tech against Mischief's Master too, so.
I think it's.
And stare down.
I think it is good with Enlightened Mastery because you draw a card, discard a card from your hand. If it was a Dragon Ball, it's not discard a card to draw a card. It's draw a card, discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was saying that with use with Namekian Ascension, I feel like it would kind of conflict itself. I was just curious how Ascension would actually work with Determination.
I'm thinking like Ascension Mastery. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Namekian Ascension doesn't work too hot with this card, but this card,
you just use it in a turn that you don't have Ascension, which was perfectly fine.
Still super good. Still super good card. Yeah, I would be taking these cards up, but screw it. Guys, you can go on Octagon, or you can check out the Dead Zone blog here, the FanZ CCG wordpress.com, and you can find up top, you can find the cards we're talking about. Anyway, we'll move on to the next card. I think it's a great card. We go Namekian Direct Strike. Oh, dear God, this card is amazing. Physical combat, Endurance 1. You raise your anger 1, immediate effect. You place a styled card from your discard pile on top of your life deck. Physical attack for 83 stages. Hit, rejuvenate 1. This card's so awesome.
It's 1 card, putting 2 back in the deck on hit.
Mm-hmm. Piccolo, man. Revelation Piccolo.
And it's another Namekian that actually says "Raise Your Anger 1," which we don't see much often anymore.
Yeah. Please
I mean, like, this is also fantastic and enlightened. It's great mischievous tech. If they've used their mastery, you can stack a card and then draw right into a stack, like blanketing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same way that Blue Blanketed Blast is good Mistress tech.
It's a really good card.
And I hate Rejuve one. Again, this is a 2-anger card in Knowledge Mastery. I love that. Super awesome. We'll move on to the next card. Namekian Duck. If this card is discarded from your hand by a master effect, gain 5 stages. It's a physical combat card with 1 endurance. Stop a physical attack, raise your anger 1. If the highest power level on your MP is 500,000 or less, shuffle into your life deck after use.
Slug card.
This is Slug Kami all the way. But I think this is still really good with even like Piccolo. Revelation stack. It's pretty good. This is a 2-anger card for Knowledge Kami. I know my buddy Mike Teague's gonna love that. He was running Knowledge Kami this weekend at Kenosha Qualifier. Did pretty good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Radiant's gonna run this, but I definitely think Slug.
Yeah,
Slug.
I think
Radiant Kami not so much.
Yeah, that's the thing with Radiant Kami. I feel like there's different builds. There's the builds where you level, and there's the builds where you don't level. And I think
There's the camp, and then jump to level 2 when you need to, and then there's the go for MPP. Well, it was a triple threat, right?
There's like triple threat / like beats. Like you can go energy beats with him pretty decently in Radiance. But like I think consistency's sake, keeping your drills out on 1 is probably the best that I've seen. But for Radiant,
I agree.
But this is
and we were 3 games away from getting a drill that would allow you to banish it when you advanced to keep all your drills.
Yeah, I suppose.
But I lost.
Yeah, no, it's a good card though. I like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, it works with Nail too. That's another one. I like that it works with Nail.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about Nail.
That's gonna be really fun. Casey Hansman's gonna love that. Namekian Piercing Kick. If this card is discarded from your hand by a mastery effect, you may banish it to use a critical damage effect. I like that already. I hate that it's restricted to the style or the mastery effect though, but maybe they just didn't want a Piccolo to abuse the living fuck out of this card.
Yeah.
Physical attack. Choose a card in your opponent's discard pile and banish it. So a little bit more pile hate.
Very good.
There's Black got that other card. The Grudge Drill could do some pile hate. Blue didn't get any pile hate because fuck Blue, but Namekian Piercing Kick. But that's not the good part about this. Hit. If you only have 1 trade, you draw a card. Banish after use. Nail and Piccolo. Kami's not going to run this card. Maybe actually, I could see Kami running this card in Enlightened or Slug for the crit.
It's a Slug.
I could see Slug running it for the crit, but even then,
I would still like to see an endurance one on this because those Enlightened beats decks just get like torn through like tissue paper. It's pretty bad.
All the draw cards in Namekian have no endurance. I'm okay with that, but I hate it at the same time. Like I hate it and I love it. Like I love it.
Just make a glass cannon deck and just have every single card draw a card. You can't lose at that point.
I mean, that's the thing. Like Namekian has so many that like if you made a deck with all of them, you're bound to just sneak through at someone. Like if you're not against like a super defensive deck, you're bound to like keep chaining. And I think Piccolo especially, like Casey Hansman, again, I'm going to defer to him. I wish he was here actually almost to talk about these Namekian cards, but he's got a really nice Enlightened Piccolo build. I've been running one too that you can just chain level like a mofo, like between like Dig, Unleashed, and just Anger. You could even run it with some Anger, and just like all these like Namekian Enlightened with all this like anti-discard effect love it got from Determination and like the discard synergy that it got from these last couple cards here. Like you're going to see Namekian Enlightened see a lot more play. I think if people become
even with the potential of Mischievous Mastery really hurting it.
Yeah, I think that's
sure. I think it could.
It's going to be up to the people to play it. Really, a lot of Namekian players are still kind of like more knowledge people. I feel like Derek Apfel, a guy that I know from Milwaukee. He still plays knowledge Piccolo. But maybe I can get him to try out Enlightened at some point. But Enlightened just really needed to not have the anger tied to only discarding a ball. If it immediately gave anger, it would be so much better. Yeah. But this card makes it a lot better.
I agree.
Namekian Powerball. Energy combat. Endurance 1, cost 3, energy attack. Damage from this attack is banished, so we're seeing... I'm surprised this isn't a red card. Damage 5 life cards. Hit shuffle a Dragon Ball or ally you control and deal on his life deck to destroy setup or drill. Meh.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it because
I have this as a 2-0 for my Namekian Piccolo deck. I think this card's great.
Needs to be triple threat, I think.
Yes.
my biggest issue with this is it's not a May. So on the hit, you have to shuffle a Dragon Ball or ally.
Shuffle Kami, get another ball back out, and to destroy another setup and drill.
Plus, you get
Shuffle Purunga, get Purunga back out.
Plus, you get an anger playing knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Problem I have with it is that you can target your own setup or drill, and you have to do it. So if your opponent doesn't have a setup or drill, you have to target your own setup or drill and hit.
That's true. You have to shuffle
way around it.
You might lose 2 board cards off this, and that's
this can backfire so bad on you that like while the benefits are definitely there, it's one of the most risky Namekian cards I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I love it.
I agree.
I've yet for it to fail on me right now.
What is? So
I've been set that up for 2 days.
So you said you run it in which Piccolo?
My Namekian Knowledge Piccolo.
I mean, Namekian...
It's another shuffle effect that gets rid of board, which it doesn't really have a lot of getting rid of board besides looping ball 4.
What I think this card needed is it didn't need the damage banish. I don't think Namekian needed that at all. Like, they don't play on that theme. Red plays on that theme. I think what this card needed was like the so this is like almost like comparable to Red Double Strike, Namekian Double Strike to me, except that it's got a hit, so it's crappier, in my opinion. But it's kind of like I can also compare it to that red, whatever you know that red one that you the Namekian card from set 6 that you shuffle 2 allies to get a crit. I compared
Namekian Double Team.
That double team. That I kind of like that card and Double Strike are kind of like this card's kind of like them. It kind of falls in that suite of like utility. But as I don't see this being run in like Gohan Ally, because he's gonna just kill his own setups and drills.
Well, that was my whole thing. Like, at first thought was like, oh, Gohan Ally, it's got stage drain, it's pretty solid. But the more I looked at the hit effect, the more I realized that yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's just too risky.
Yeah.
At least for the way I play. Like, I hate running cards that can backfire on me.
But also
because I'm a very unlucky person.
Gohan Ally can kick this out of his hand on too. So worst case scenario. Not that you want to be in that situation, but
yeah. But I'm sure there's going to be other cards you want to get rid of. Like when you're playing Gohan Ally, you're probably running like 1,000 allies, so you want to dump one of those to get something else. You know.
I think this has a place. But it's definitely...
I like that it's a destroy effect, not a banish effect, because I can destroy it and instantly get it rejuvenated back into the deck.
That's true.
If it was banished, I probably wouldn't run it as much.
Matter of fact, you say that you brought up Purunga Ally, Trevor, and that is a great combo. And I wasn't in it. I already have ideas of Purunga Ally, but I didn't even think about this card, and that's actually really cool.
So, bro. And then you can shuffle. You can also shuffle Kami and get another ball back out. So that's another ball out for another mill effect and knowledge.
That's true.
And also board removal.
That is true. Absolutely.
That's a lot of pieces to fall into place, and it's definitely possible.
Or it's a huge bait block if necessary. If I just don't want something else to hit.
I was gonna say that too. This could find a place in decks that are yarning like.
It's never going to be a 3-of. It's never going to be a 3-of because 3 stages is just way too hefty of a price for a card with an effect like this. I'm running it as a 2-of right now, and I'm seeing good results.
The only 3-stage Namekian card that's actually worth it is what was that? The one where you play it, and if it hits, you draw the bottom card of your life deck.
Oh, Handburst. I was gonna say
it can only be stopped by Andrew combat card.
Yeah, I was gonna say this needed like. I don't think it needed the damage banish. It needed something else there, or like immediate effect. But
yeah, if the hit was the immediate, it'd probably see a little bit more play. Still risky, but it's an immediate effect, so it'd be slightly better.
Yeah, I totally agree with Trevor on the bait block, though. I could see this card falling in place in those decks that are running like Targeted Strike and Handburst.
My favorite combo is Purunga Ally, dude.
Yeah, this card. We'll get to Purunga, dude. I totally want to hear some your thoughts on Purunga, Trevor, because I've been looking at him and I've already thought about Knowledge Mastery Piccolo with him probably.
Oh, it's so great.
So we'll get into, or even Gohan actually, matter of fact, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So that was the final Namekian card. So halfway through the style cards, we'll go into Orange right now. Let's see here. Orange Absorption Drill. This
Bad drill.
not even bad. I don't think this card's bad. I don't think this card's bad at all.
It's incredible. This card is what Kami was missing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh God, yes. Like combative Kami with this card is going to be fucking silly.
The Radiant Kami, in my opinion, was slightly better. Now it's yep, and combative Kami is it's just so much better
I wouldn't
now.
even. Okay, I'll debate you a different time about combative and Kami, which one's better. I think they're both different. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've played both a lot. I've played against both a lot with those two. I mean, like, I don't know. It's seeing this in.
Man, it makes it hard to want. I hate this card. Like, I hate this card because I like that only Namekian had it.
Me too.
And Orange already has the best stage gain in the game, in my opinion.
Just didn't need this. Orange never needs what it gets, and I think that's always going to be the problem with that style. It'll always get something, and everyone's going to be like, well, what the fuck? This did not need to exist. It's because Orange already has everything. So I think no matter what.
I don't like that it has endurance, and I don't like that it has the combat drill effect. I do like it.
And I'm never going to use the endurance on this. It's always going to hit my discard pile, and I'm always going to get it back.
I like that it's on physical decks only, and I understand that's a way to beat physical decks, but you're going to see You're going to see Orange physical beats running this card to keep their AT up.
100%. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm probably going to put this in every single Orange deck that I'm running at this point. Like, it's just so good.
Adept Goten is going to be silly. I would have liked to see this card have instant power instead of a constant.
I agree with that. That's a really good way to balance it and make it slightly different than combat drill.
Yeah. Sorry if anybody else had opinions about this. Me and Mark are very talky.
Oh, I'm going to be fighting all about Orange this whole time. I have a love-hate with Orange.
Why does this exist?
Yeah, and of course, after taking damage from a physical attack, your MP gains X stages. X is the number of life cards to damage that attack dealt. So, it's only good if you're at 0, but again, and it's only on physical attacks, but again, this card, and also has Endurance 1. I mean, god damn it. I love the Orange gets everything. I love the arts, but, yeah, this is like one card. This is like the one card in the set I didn't want. Otherwise, everything else I'm okay with.
Every game I've played so far, this drill has not come in handy at all. I don't think I've played any physical decks at all yet. I mean, everybody's testing out the new stuff, but this has not come in handy at all.
In the Octagon, so anyway, Orange Energy Focus is our next card. This is in the same vein as Black Mist. It's kind of like that that plays off your pile. So a lot of people have been comparing this card to like Blue Decapitation, same with Black Mist, and there's another card that we'll get to when we get to Red. But Orange Energy Focus, of course, you banish it from your hands. As an action to banish a style energy attack from your discard pile. If you do, you perform a copy of that attack. Energy attack, set your MP's level to 0, damage 1 life card. So this is going to be good in like Orange Ally, obviously, but this is mostly you're going to see it being used as like a supplemental Orange PowerPoint or Stare Down, I think, or Orange Fierce. I think those are the 3 cards you're going to see it turn into.
Sweeping Blast, you got to remember Sweeping Blast. Sweeping Blast has been one of the most clutch cards, and I think it's going to be the most clutch card this set.
I'm going to kind of interject right here.
Yep, go for it.
I didn't notice at first. This card is really good for someone who's actually played that deck for Adaptive Ginyu. Because you play it from, like, you don't banish it, you play it from your hand, go down to 0, now you have all your ally access.
Yep. I was
just like Decap, and when you couldn't drain your stages, it's just another way to drain stages.
Yep.
This card in general is just fantastic.
This is evil. This is an evil card.
Yeah.
You guys realize this? I wish O'Malley was here because he can confirm it, but I believe
O'Malley is. Oof, I need to see if we can get him in here. For sure.
So if Bulma has, like, say, Orange Stare Down attached, you can still Energy Focus an Orange Stare Down from your discard pile because it's a copy. So the copy isn't considered playing it. So you can banish the Bulma to get your Orange Stare Down back.
Ew.
Blue Decap. So the original Energy Focus before they changed it to this was actually slightly worse because you couldn't play the card from your discard pile if Bulma had it attached. Now you can banish the card to play the copy to banish it because you're not playing the card anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was confirmed already as working with Blue Decap, and this is the same exact wording as Blue Decap.
Mm-hmm.
It's around Bulma. And it's so gross.
I didn't even think about that part. That's what's really nice, for sure.
This card is incredible.
It does get around like Black Swirl too, which is cool. Because I used to Black Swirl stuff that people are trying to decap. I think, or can I do that? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm lying. I'm actually lying off of my tongue.
I have to see the wording on Black Swirl.
I am totally lying out of my teeth. But the point being is you can't Black Swirl it, so that's kind of cool. But Or no, I don't know why I said Black Swirl. Never mind. Pretend I didn't say that. But yeah, Orange Ally, if OP attack goes around, with Assistance Drill that they came out in set 8, Orange Assistance Drill, which says all your ally attacks still +1 life, and then when one of them would leave play, you shuffle it into your deck instead. Maybe we'll see Orange Ally come in. I think if OP attack came back, we'd see it for sure. I think once we get to reinforcements, when we'll talk about that, I think Orange Ally could exist this set because of this card, but I think the biggest utility users of it are going to be Yamcha, 18. You could see them Nuke Broly and Bojack when we'll get to them, but in general, Orange Energy is probably going to slot in at like 2 of these, maybe 3 in a deck, because but not having Endurance and Orange Energy deck lists kind of already being really tight between drills and the attacks, it's going to be. I'm very interested to see how they fit this.
So, I've been putting this at 3 only because I need to use Orange Staredown as much as possible.
Yeah, that's I think the biggest use of it's going to be is that. So,
I mean, you lose Orange Staredown at least 6 times. So, it's just so good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, next card here is, of course, Orange Counterpunch. This is a physical attack with 1 endurance. You search your discard pile for a style attack or rejuvenate it, damage 83 stages, and then hits rejuvenate the bottom 2 cards of your discard pile. This is a great counter to, no, counter's not the right word, but this is like a good partner to Orange Counterball. The same exact effect, pretty much, as this.
I'm totally rocking this in my Orange Adept Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I mean, like,
yeah, I would.
Boo sees good use for this card.
Adept in general, I think Adept Physical in general is going to like this card because a big part of with Adept is that you just run out of steam at points.
At least it adds some more variety to your deck because instead of everything just gaining you an anger and doing flat stages, at least this gets you cards back. So
for sure.
it's a good card. You can't deny it.
I like this.
It's counterable, but it's good.
What's good is even in an anger deck, it's got the hit effect on it. So what the heck is the drill?
Examination drill.
Yeah,
examination drill.
And Disaster Drill turns this into a 2 anger card for Orange physical anger deck. You can camp on it, like Trevor was saying about Adept Turles. I think it's a great card.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. We get into. Oops, I brought it up. Whoops. Here we go. Of course, this is a
controversial card.
This is probably the most. And 2 things to say about this card, just preference. I actually got this card given to me by Joey DiCarlo to preview, and it was typoed. So Ryan actually ended up getting that one, and it was funny because I found out that Ryan had that one, and I just laughed because I knew what it did already, and everyone was like, "Oh, what does it do?" And I'm like, "Just wait, just wait." Anyway, Orange Palm Charge. This is a card that, like I said, a lot of controversy. Energy Combat, Endurance 1. You can only have 1 of it attached at a time. Energy attack costing 1 stage. Attached to your MP. While attached, your styled attacks styled energy attacks cost -1 stage to perform, and to a minimum of 0. They also deal an extra life card damage, and the damage is 4 life cards. So immediately this card attaches and it does 5 life cards. So it's a critical attack that costs you 1. Attaches to your MP immediately. There's no detach clause, and everything that you perform after it's going to potentially be free.
18.
Obviously 18.
Yeah, I think one of the big reasons why AMP 18 existed is because her passive and Amplified Mastery, same with Yamcha. This is going to give Amplified a run for its money.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny how incredibly good this card is. I don't think it's as broken as a lot of people are saying it is. But it's just really good. It's incredibly powerful. It's an obviously good effect, but I wouldn't say it's broken. It definitely doesn't need to be limited. A detach clause would be nice, but I definitely would not say this is broken.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that it used to be when it was previewed. It said all attacks, all energy attacks.
That was insane.
I'm glad that it's only style attacks because I could definitely see this card not making the cut in Orange Energy. Honestly, I know it sounds maybe crazy to some people, but I think I could totally see it because there's people that run energy in red outside of Amplified. Why not the same thing?
I don't know, man. I think that this is one of those instances where combative gets another almost similar to running adaptive. You attach that's like I run a Supreme Kai Energy Beats, and I'm going to throw this in there as a 3 of easy. And even though you can only attach 1, I mean, it just buffs all my energy attacks anyway.
I mean,
And then after you have one attached, it's just a free 5 life card energy with endurance.
Exactly. And then combative, you have debuffs, you have stage gain. So like, I don't know. I mean, any energy beats, I feel like you're going to be running this at a 3.
Yeah.
Bare minimum 2.
I mean, sorry, go ahead, Joey, because I think you have a good point here coming up.
Actually, I really didn't have one. I was just
You son of a bitch. Making me look bad. Stupid dog.
I think a lot of people would probably run this even if they're like, oh, it's just for a 1-up for Unleashed.
That's
Obviously,
another thing. This makes Orange Unleashed actually good.
Well, yeah.
Like it was not good. It was not good before.
You didn't have to do Orange Aid.
especially in AT, especially in Yamcha, especially in Broly. This is, like, to me, this is
shopping.
I don't know about Broly as much because here's the thing:
This
Broly only really gets this, and well, I suppose he gets shopping drill too if you run it.
I feel like this is one of those cards that's just like Joey DeCar. I forget. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. Joey's like
Joey DeCarlo.
Yep. We want Orange energy beats to come back. So here you go.
I mean, it's completely evident that they want it back. I mean, between the new, we'll get to it. Like you said, the Krillin ally and everything like that. It's just
between the new MPs, the allies, all these cards, what we've been seeing a lot of them gain. Well, as far as that, the orange ones. Well, I shouldn't even say. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of cards in the set that gain stages, and a lot of the MPs this set play off energy. So,
I will actually make a point. As an energy beats player, like I know 100% that energy beats is an absolute cancerous playstyle because it's very, very easy. It's not hard. There's not a lot of thinking process to it. This is now evident. Like orange energy beats is being cancerous is now going to be evident now because of this card.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, I didn't really have to try it all when I was playing Orange Yamcha. I mean, that's obviously not going to be the case when more people get comfortable and figure out how to beat things. But like right now, it's like I'm throwing all my opponents. I don't even know what half my cards do. I haven't run Orange Energy in over a year at this point.
My only issue with this card is that it's like the big thing with red is that red energy lacked modifiers. Then you got red energy blast, and that was like the only. Or sorry, not red. The red reverse is the card I'm thinking.
Reverse, yeah.
Attached. And if you don't get a red reverse attached, red energy falls flat. Orange energy already had the mods on the drills. This, what I do like is this opens up orange energy to not have to need the drills to do stuff. At the same time, this, like, on top of orange drill modifiers and an orange adaptive mastery, you're going to be, like, if you play 18, you get attack drill, you get aura drill, you get this. You're doing, and the adaptive mastery, you're doing +6 on everything. That is insane. And they're really not that, if orange didn't have so much drill support and this, like...
Well, I mean, is this ground for adaptive?
It's too hard to remove. It's too easy to build up. It's going to be really easy to build up mods. And, like Joey said... He didn't feel
the cancer flow through you.
Like, as Joey and Mark were saying, like, they don't feel like energy is hard to play. It is and it isn't. This makes it way easier because you don't have to worry about stages. That was the biggest thing. And maybe
there's no
okay, I'm gonna
counterplay anymore.
But you gotta remember activity drill.
I'm gonna retract my statement.
You're gaining stages every time you hit. And if you're playing Yamcha where you're spirit balling every 3, that's 3 additional stages that you're not losing.
On top of combative mastery, if you're oh no, that doesn't work with that. Never mind. But yeah, this. Okay, I'm gonna retract my statement. That was silly. Yeah, I don't know.
Energy.
It's hard not.
Orange energy beats is the easiest deck to play. Like it's even dumber than physical Broly. Like, and that's for all 3 cards.
I'll disagree a little bit. I do think physical beats sequencing is very important. And if I remember correctly, because I haven't played it in a long time.
Not with Broly.
We can agree to disagree on that, but energy beats used to be important. It used to be a lot harder. It used to be important to sequence because you had to play around stage beats and stage training. Now it doesn't matter at all.
I mean,
so it's just you draw an attack, you throw an attack.
The only decks that don't care about the stages are going to be, like I said, Yamcha 18 right now, and then if you throw them in amplified, you throw them with this card. They don't care, but
Okay, I'm going to kind of add to because the game is shifting into an energy beats meta. You're not going to see a lot of stage beats. like you're going to see a reduction in stage beats, so you're not really going to have to worry about stages
have
anymore.
more people gravitating towards energy beats because they're not as worried about
nowhere. Majin Vegeta is going to be in this game forever. It's another future-proof. Majin Vegeta and Broly are future-proof MPs. They're always going to be a relevant threat. I think you're going to see Deborah start to take a back seat a little bit because a lot of people are.
All people needed to do to play against Deborah is play Orange, and I'm serious. Orange Combative has already had the tools since it came out to beat physical hard.
It's the only thing I lost to in Dennis games. I made a dumb misplay, but I mean it was the only deck that I lost to at the Dennis games.
Even when you don't misplay, like the fact is that there's so many. Orange has the best stage gain. Orange has the best physical blocks of the game that are either multi-use or grab you more actions to block with, and then you have checkup drill to grab those cards. You have the blocking drill. You have
Orange
this
defense.
now. You have the orange stage gain, orange defense, of course, orange focus. Orange is going to be the premier anti-physical style. It already has been. It just got better with this card, and I think I'm going to redact the statement that this is definitely going to be. It's going to be hard to not put this card at like 3.
Would this card see as much play if this was villains only? Really sure, but like your biggest proponents of it being a problem is you have it in.
Well, it being restricted
Orange
for one would be
20.
less play, but the best energy beats MPs in the game are heroes, and even with, and I don't even think there's been some new contenders, but Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, 18, all getting access to like cards like Pesky Barrage, Energy Toss. 18's name suite, the modifiers that 18 can bring out, there's no contest in it. I want to say that like it was kind of the same way that like villains had it made for them in the stage beats department, and I think they do still now. Heroes are more the energy beats, and heroes are probably the better ally deck too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which is more incentive to be good at energy beats. So.
They have access to Ox King to get rid of all the modifiers.
This gets around Ox King. Which is hilarious.
Which is
it gets around. It's energy combat card modifying.
But we talked about a lot of this card. Definitely, I understand people. There's people that really hate this card. I like that they're giving Orange an unleashed option, other than Shopping Drill, which and Quick Blast, which was good. I don't think that physical was OP if people just played Orange.
I don't want to harp on this card for too much longer, like you were saying. It seems like you're shifting away. But one thing we didn't bring up was Draku. How does this? Everyone's saying this is amazing with Draku. I mean, it is, because obviously you have an unleashed target. You can get to that level 4. You can focus more on energy beats, and he has the already built-in modifiers on his levels.
He'll be an interesting one.
Does this push him? Does this push him to a point that that's broken, or is it completely fair? Because he doesn't really have the stage gain options that a lot of the other MPs have.
Yeah, he can still be stage locked. He can still be stage locked.
It's there, but it's not. It's like it makes him better, but it makes everybody better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can think right now, aside from Bio Broly, I mean, Draku's the only other one that's going to be running AK and doing like 9 life cards, and a Palm Charge isn't going to do anything to that, but he's already got his modifiers and adaptive mastery and whatever drills he has. So.
I suppose, yeah, but 18 again can do disc, and then she can do what the hell is the name? Intensity drill. So other way, Frigida can do the same. Frigida too could be really good with this. There's just so many MPs are going to be good with this card. I'm really curious to see. I think it's mostly going to be people are going to obviously gravitate towards 18 Yamcha first, and I think there's other MPs that are going to do really good with that card, and I think it'll be interesting to see how people will come up with a counter, because I feel like it's definitely. I agree, it's totally going to be a big metaphors.
Seeing a lot of people run focused assaults and mule kicks, and they're definitely working. But Orange has just so many tools that you get rid of Palm Charge, and it doesn't matter, especially if you're running Yamcha and 18. It couldn't matter less.
Well, they already had
Palm Charge.
It's just supplemental. It's really supplemental. But you also have to. People have to play an Unleash package, which has its own counters. So, or not necessarily, but they're gonna probably. They'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see counterplay. Anyway, Orange Quick Toss is our next card. This is an energy attack costing 1 stage, endurance 1. You lower your opponent's anger 1. If you have the human trait, it stays to play to be used a second time as combat. Damages 3 life cards. Hit, gain 2 stages. Banish after use. I like this card.
Yamcha.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yamcha, yep.
Yamcha 18. Back to them. They got a lot of love this set. Adaptive got a lot of love this set, for sure.
Oh, I think Yamcha's up to. Well, he's got 2 or 3 double attacks, triple attacks now.
Yeah, so
Ball, Quick Toss.
Quick Dust isn't
Pesky Barrage.
or Quick Dust.
Pesky Barrage, yep.
I was gonna say even what you can even toss in there is Orange Offensive
Orange,
Strike. That card being potentially 3 cards because it searches itself each use.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So what's cool is like 18 or like Yamcha running all those cards and then running even just efficiency
All
drill.
free. Yeah, that's cool.
All for free and gaining. That would be. You're gonna see a lot of. It may be more incentive because of these multi-use cards. Potentially see more use because of the MPs that are using them. You might see more incentive for cards like. I'm trying to think what the hell the card. Cards that can shut off cards already in play, like that black.
Sane Energy Focus.
Sane Energy Focus is going to get a big play buff this set, I think. I mean,
I think it's a.
That card is already awesome. I love that card, but Sane is just kind
What's
of
the black event energy block that lets you go into their deck and banish a copy? That's
Black
going to
adaptation. Adaptation is going to see. Yeah,
to be coming back.
Adaptation is going to be really awesome this set. Black Swipe. Black is looking really. I mean, honestly. Black Scout maneuvering all the big energy attacks is going to be super fun, but Black also having no board hate is going to suck.
Once we shift back to an energy meta, Black Scout maneuver is a perfect time for it to come back.
Android 20. We want to talk about people with Android. Android 20 is going to come back hard if Yamcha and 18 are seeing play. He
never really gone away. It's just not a lot of people are playing 20.
Yeah,
I just get top 2 and Triad with
Brandon. I was going to say Brandon Maines played me with Android 20 top 4 there at Kenosha Qualifier, and definitely really potent. Definitely still potent deck. Even with my deck.
It never got worse.
It never got worse. The problem is that board hate got better and the game sped up, so he had to be able to deal with speed. He couldn't deal with Empowered Broly. And then when he went away, like I feel like that's when he had his chance to shine, and then people just started kind of shying away from combative. And
the problem now is Bojack pushes him into adaptive. You can't play him in any other style because the fear of his energy attack making you lose everything you've set up.
I don't think that's a good enough reason. I don't think that was the reason why people would be pushed to adaptive. People would be pushed to adaptive because it was always the best one. Like Red Amplified's cool.
I think there was a time that combative might have been the best, but I'm going to argue. I'm going to say that adaptive is probably the best now. There's more tools in a combative.
Yeah, that's a different argument for a different day. But yeah, I can understand why you're saying it. I totally get why you're saying it, and it's a debate that I have with people about adaptive versus combative. But we're getting off topic. Either way, obviously we have a lot of ideas about this card and these orange cards. They all are going to be very playable. Orange Energy is looking really fine. Red Energy, I think, kind of took its place for a while. But Orange Energy is looking a lot better this set. I don't know if you guys agree. I agree with myself.
I think adaptive energy beads might be the best style, and black is probably going to be the perfect counter to it. And it's going to be fun. It's going to feel, like I said, this has a very set 3 feel to it.
Can you make it a comeback with the new freestyle card?
I don't know how you get set 3 as a comparison.
I'll explain that later when we see Bojack and everything else. But
I suppose, like, I can understand, like, oh, okay, I'll save it for when we talk about it.
There's a lot to get into with that when we get there.
Yeah.
As a no-brainer Energy Beats player, I'm very happy that one of my favorite masteries is back in the game.
Yeah, adaptive.
Which is terrible.
I think adaptive. I'm glad to see adaptive coming back.
It's like
me too. I've always liked that mastery.
I think it's fair. I think it's totally fair mastery. As much as Joey says, as much as Joey says, it's mindless.
It is mindless. It is very mindless.
Okay. So we'll get on to red.
Yeah.
For now, I played Red Ascension Goten at Kenosha. Sorry, I cut you off, Joey.
No, you're good. I was just saying we should get on track.
Yeah. So I played Red, and of course I got to see the set drop Friday night when I was super fucking wasted. I was pretty much hungover at 11 p.m. if that tells you what kind of day I had. But we get to the first Red preview, and I saw this card. I'm like, damn, I wish I could run this card. I don't know where I'd put it yet, but we get Red Attitude Drill. Oh my God! People were talking about tactical drill placement. Oh dear God, this is an awesome drill. It's got an instant power where you use when your opponent lowers your anger. You paid 3 stages to raise your anger X levels. X is the amount of anger you lowered. So instantly Blue Head Knock is Dick Butt Kiss. It does nothing to you. Oh my god.
No, wait. Does blue head knock set or lower?
Lower. It never says lower to 0.
Blue head
The
knock
lower
lowers.
sunset, yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's definitely a really, really solid card against blue anti-anger.
Oh, hell.
Um,
Sand Burst, even. Sand Burst
There's
is a big
just
one.
so much anti-anger that we saw printed in the set. Yeah, and to go back to energy beats and orange again for a moment, orange Yamcha has so much like lower anger 1 effects that you're almost never going to pop attitude drill in the lower anger 1 effect and pair it with the examination drill. Even if you lower the anger, examination drill triggers it.
He does, but he still has like big things like fierce attack. He has big things like
Absolutely.
Eruption that he's going to be running.
It's a great drill. There's no denying that. It's just, is it enough? Is it a good enough tactical replacement? And is that okay that it's not a good enough tactical replacement if it's not
fair? I think this card's way more fair. There was cards that busted there's cards that busted tactical drill, and that's another thing too. Is this doesn't bring back the synergy that tactical drill brought back with like using your anger as a resource kind of stuff quite as much. Like you're still going to be susceptible to anger lower, like Mark is saying. Like we did just see all these orange cards and these blue cards like blue agility, blue sword strike or sword rage, that are all lower your anger 1. The drill, sword drill master. It's
going to make it a lot harder to choose when you want to actually pop this.
But did we need more anger lore in the game? I think it was already there. There's already cards that completely shut off entire sets of anger gain. So I don't know.
Oh.
I think. The biggest thing.
3 stages. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. The pay 3 stages is the worst part about it because
that's what I was going to ask.
Stage beats is still
if you don't have stages.
Yeah.
You can't pay the 3 stages, right? Because I don't remember those precedences from all the earlier sets back.
No, if it said lose 3 stages, like say an offensive rush from the first set says you lose 4 stages on your MP, meant you could mill yourself and you'd still get the +3 life mod, and that was the coolest thing.
Right. So this is like Turles too. So if you can't pay it, you don't get that effect.
Yeah. But as a power, it does give you 3 stages. So the problem with this, the biggest thing is this is going to be weak to physical beats. But against energy decks, against life card beats, this is going to be awesome. And again, if people are pushing into more of an energy beats set, they're not going to be doing stage damage. So when you take those big, even a single anger lower, I know it doesn't seem like much, but when you're playing things like Ascension, anger, where that 1 anger skip to level is so huge, like, it's going to matter. It's still going to matter. And then, of course, if you have the android trait, your attack still +1 life card of damage is combat. And you can choose a styled card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your life deck.
It's just a good drill all around for an android MP. Like, I mean,
18,
you're probably
18 or, 18 or 20, even. Amplified 20. It doesn't specify energies, which is probably the best part.
Yeah, definitely.
Weelo. Go back to Joey's Red Weelo. Red Weelo's going to love this card.
Yeah. I probably won't play Red Weelo with a Black Shower, but that's just going to be our joke. Just
Black Shower. The Kaleidoscope or whatever it was format, where you can just mix everything.
Now I want to make an alternate art where it's like no, that wouldn't work. Never mind.
You need red attitude drill, but then it's got like launch, giving somebody the middle finger or something like that.
Or it could be Bulma.
Or Bulma. Yeah, Bulma would be perfect.
I think Didier would like that proxy.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, so yeah, it obviously has weaknesses. You can't use it on your own effects. You can only use it when your opponent lowers. Like Mark said, orange has got a lot of lower anger ones. Blue's got a lot of lower anger ones. Red, Ruthless is a lot of lower anger one.
But if you lower your own anger, you can use Kevin Dennis's card, the Twin Beams.
Yeah. It hurts the Mechian the most because you really didn't have a lot of options outside of Maxwell, and now not being able to use a Maxwell.
Blue Head Knock, Blue Protective with Blue Head Knock is the biggest threat to Red Anger, honestly. Or Blue Saiyan Burst, like I played against Eric. One of the reasons I lost him is because I got bursted two times in a game.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
On top of getting skipped, where he can potentially crit you in multiple actions. Like if I had been able to keep that 3 anger, it could have been way different. But either way, still gonna be good. I'm curious to see how people fit this and what decks to make with it. It's going to be it's going to definitely bring back Red Amplified Anger. Absolutely. Maybe not so much Ascension, but Red Amplified for sure.
I think so.
We'll move on to the next card here. Red Counter. This is an interesting card. I was silly in thinking that Frieza had God trait on 2, but it's a physical. It's an event that stops a physical attack. So there's already like a red flag to me is that it's an event. And then if you're an alien trait, you with only one trait, you can banish a card from your hand to search your discard pile for a named attack and place it in your hand. Definitely going to be a cool Bojack Frieza cooler card.
Frieza, like that's my immediate pick because late game red counter grab Supernova.
Yep, I'm thinking the same thing. I actually didn't even realize this was an event before until I'm just looking at it now. So
Pycon liked this card too, I think. Pycon for
damn. I'm really, realizing how many cards Frieza has that's considered named.
Well, this isn't named. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. This card itself isn't named, but it not having endurance to being banished after use is probably the worst thing for it.
Garlic Jr. making a comeback.
Yeah,
that counter ball.
I know Lambdoom was contemplating playing it at Kenosha, but he didn't. He went with Cell instead.
Yeah, he had some. Didn't he have some Garlic Jr. deck he was thinking about?
I thought whether or not he was going to do well that I couldn't tell you, but I liked the deck. I thought it was cool. I would have loved to have seen that come.
What deck was it again? I know I overheard him say it.
Ascension Garlic Jr. Obviously, it was kind of like a replacement for Enraged, and nothing's a replacement for Enraged, but I liked it.
Yeah. But this card, honestly, there's so many alien MPs in this game that this works with. It's going to be cool. I mean, again, Python,
this pair
Bojack is going to love this card for his Galactic Buster. We'll get to.
I feel like this pairs amazingly with
Cooler Frieza
with Red Decap that we're going to get to in a moment too.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the next cards. I mean, this is just so good.
Yeah, we're looking at what we're starting to see is red, to an extent, black and red that are going to be the styles where you want. If you have any sort of synergy with name cards, you're going to want to be playing those styles. Now we get on to Red Focus, is the next card Mark was saying. It's an event card as well. You may banish this card from your hand as an action to banish a named attack from your discard pile. If you do, perform a copy of that attack. So already get that kind of blue decap effect that Orange had and Black had, except this time it's going to be a named attack. So again, we're pushing that name card. This is really what Red is making itself kind of the premier named attack style.
So I already have a Red Ruthless Tien that loves to abuse.
Yep.
Tri-Beam, and this is just another way to abuse Tri-Beam. I mean, it's disgusting.
This card...
I'm so happy about this card.
I'm glad that it makes you banish the attack card.
Now I want to add, rechange my submission for Mystery Box to Ruthless Tien and see how that goes.
Oh,
I'd be so happy. If I got that, I'd be so happy.
Dude, Ruthless Tien, with this card, if you run this at 3, you run 3 Defiant, you run Targeting, you run triple Tri-Beam, you run Counter... You're going to be seeing Tri-Beam like fucking... Or no, sorry.
What's the other one that bounces? You banish card from your hand, you take to Battle Pausing. I'm running Battle Pausing in mine, which is another way.
Hold on.
Red Awakening. I mean, there's so many ways to put Tri-Beam potentially in your hand. It's silly.
I wish Ryan...
Yeah, I know.
I wish Ryan were here to verify this. So if I banish this, if I'm playing Ruthless Tien and I banish this... and
It's a copy of attack. It doesn't stay into play to use again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a one and done, but it's still really good to force a skip.
Yeah,
it does still give you the head skip, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, but this has obviously more application. This has broad application. Most of the name card trait, name card working cards in red are alien trait. So this will definitely open up for TN. Is probably the big one that people focus on Ruthless TN. You'll see it used in non-Ruthless decks. It does also have a power, of course. This raises your anger 1, lowers your opponent's anger 1, and sets you to 0. There's not going to be many decks where you're going to... There's not really... You could run Red Ally. This is actually an interesting card for Red Ally Gohan. Back from Ruthless Gohan from set 7 that I made. There was a David Spencer deck. A couple of him and his Australian friends had that. It was a cool it was a cool ball survival deck. I still probably would run this. I don't think anyone's going to run it to put them to 0, honestly. But Ryan had an interesting red Cell deck that he was running that maybe would use this. But Cell has that power in his too. So
I feel like you can use this if it's a real worst case scenario and you absolutely don't want somebody to level. Somebody like Frieza can mitigate the stage loss because you could just gain 3 stages back anyway.
You could see.
And there's other ways to gain stages.
Yeah, you could see this almost on Red Frieza.
I feel like it's going to be on Red Frieza, absolutely, just for some Nova abuse.
Yeah, you could even yeah, Frieza would use this card probably. Matter of fact, Casey Hansman, he wanted to run Amplified Frieza at Kenosha, and he didn't. I wish he had. He's still top 8'd with Ascension Draku, but you'll see this
I think
card. This is going to be a card
Stat
that's
Miller
gonna...
has a disgusting red Frieza right now, and I feel like if he was in here, I don't know if he'd say he put that in there, but I don't know, man. I feel like it'd be a perfect fit.
I have a good one. I have a pretty good one too that I was running for a bit. It just depends on whether or not you want to play the FanZ level 1 to banish cards or not, because this card isn't very good until you start getting those cards, the Novas back in your deck. But Red has so many name cards at this point now. I don't know. We'll see how this card shapes out. It'll be a cool card to see get run.
Absolutely.
And obviously, most of the cards we're focusing on right now have been the energy attacks. There'll be some physical attack MPs that I think are going to really enjoy running that card. But we'll see. We'll see how that gets played. We have next Red Celestial Strike. This is a really cool card. I like this card a lot. This is going to be buffing. I'm probably going to be putting this in my Goten deck. It's going to be interesting to see how this card shapes out, or that deck shapes out. But of course, for Celestial Strike says physical attack, raise your anger 1, destroy an ally or drill. If you God trait, lower your opponent's anger 2, damage AT1 stage. This is going to be like a red energy blast replacement in a lot of decks, and then for some, this card's never going to see the light of day. And there's going to be some other decks that run this card too. I'll get into those in a sec. But what do you guys think?
I don't see myself playing this personally. I'm really confused by the God trait. Aside from God Ku level 1, what God is going to use this?
I don't really play God decks
Supreme
or red
Kai.
deck for a lot of red decks for that
I'd
matter.
rather run red Burning Stance from the starter set.
I don't know.
That one's raise your anger 1, but hit, it's banish. This one only destroys.
And that's a good point. I mean, like, I just don't know. 10. Well, you have applications to blow up your own focusing. What's that drill? The one that lets you, like, if it's destroyed.
It's not a May effect. You have to destroy or draw or ally no matter what.
And that,
So if
it's
you have
just
that one drill that when it leaves play, you net an anger. That's a really good combo. It's a 2 anger attack
controlling
right there.
Matter of fact, and that's what I was going to get in. Well, so two things I'm going to get into.
I didn't mean to blow it up.
Two things I'm going to get into about the utility of this card is it's got the red, like I said, it's like a physical counterpart to Red Energy Blast, right? You kill controlled anger drill with this card, just like Energy Blast or Counter Kick does. It's a 2 anger burst. The lower anger 2 is really good. This, like, matter of fact, talked about Kenosha. We had 2 or 3 Ruthless Supreme Kais played. They would run this card potentially because God Trade you get the anti-anger. Red Ruthless, Red in general, really lacks immediate anger lower cards. Like Concussive Strike with Majin Vegeta is like an exception, or with Boo. Otherwise, most red cards do not. I don't think I know like practically any red cards outside of a couple of their blocks that lower anger immediate. None of their attacks do.
Outside of Supreme Kai, who can even use that effect. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, yeah. Supreme Kai, Godku,
Kai, Kami.
Ruthless Kami.
Kami's not going to run this card probably though.
Oh, I don't see any, but maybe Supreme Kai. I can definitely see Supreme Kai. There are utilities for that.
Because they're going to do Kami bounce with this card. Which here's the thing. So for Ruthless Supreme Kai to run this card, there's a couple cards that are already maybe potentially filling that slot. So Red Energy Blast and Red Motivational Kick are both cards that, and Red Counter Kick even. But most Supreme Kai Ruthless aren't trying to level. So this is going to be taking the spot of potentially Red Motivational Kick, which is tutorable to your hand when it's banished by things like Red Reverse, which is pretty much the main way would be putting it in your hand anyway with that kind of deck. There's other cards too that play with your banish zone, or sorry, your discard pile with red. But this card, it would be taking that spot. You'd be running it primarily if you were worried about anger. That's really what this card is, as far as like Ruthless Supreme Kai, I feel. Otherwise, all the other God Trade decks aren't going to run this card. Ruthless Goku that's running Godku doesn't exist, but if it were, this would be the card that it would run, for sure. But yeah, the God Trade is really odd on this. It's just mostly...
What gods are we getting in the future at this point? I know that...
Well, Goku and Vegeta, if they get God Trade for like the Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan, or whatever.
Yeah, and he said we were going into Super at some point, so
this
I would imagine.
Dragon Ball.
Zamasu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. Beerus Whis could get that card. So.
Yeah.
King
And
Kai
if you go to the
doesn't.
Tournament of Power applications, and there's tons of gods at that
Or
point.
King
So.
Kai.
Yeah, so this is going to be like, this is a card that could be really invested in the future, but right now, really, only Ruthless Supreme Kai is going to be probably playing this card.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
A lot of talk for a really kind of card, but
Yeah, the same
we're
thing.
focusing too much, I think, on the lower Anger 2 part. Really, it's going to see use in decks that are going to be abusing Controlled Anger Drill like Goten, or cards that are decks that are going to try to abuse Kami for Ball. And either way, this is just another card that's going to be good for Red Ball for that reason. It's good for the physical decks like Vegeta that just don't want to lose their stages. So it'll see some play, but yeah, it's a good way. It's a good thing they made it Destroy, because otherwise it would completely replace Red Energy Blast in a lot of decks.
Yeah.
Our final red card, Red Expunge or Red Chill Pill, as Joey's edited it to be. But if this is banished by one of your effects, you lower your opponent's Anger 1. Oh god. Okay, so just get ready for the rest of this card. Energy attack costs 2 stages. You may lower your Anger 1. If you do, lower your opponent's Anger 2 levels. Damage, 5 life cards. Hit, lower your opponent's Anger 2 levels. This card reminds me of Namekian Counterblast, where it was like if you rejuvenate it, you lower your opponent's Anger 2. If it hits, they lower their opponent's Anger 2, and like immediately like lowers their anger. Like, this card is so silly, but red energy needed some anti-anger so bad.
Running in my bio, and that's what was key. I was doing a bio Broly mirror match, and Expunge was coming in handy so much because all we were doing was lowering each other's anger. It was crazy.
This card, and here's another reason to run Attitude Joe with this card maybe floating around, because I don't see why Yamcha and 18 wouldn't run this card. Even Red Krillin, Red Energy in general is gonna love this card. This is such a silly card. Red Vegeta even wouldn't probably run this, but you could actually see this in some of the decks that are using Pile Utility Banish with Red Reverse for Ball even. Like we're talking about the Red Ruthless Supreme Kai, or just like even Red Trunks. With
Kind of feel like a lot of people might be a little put off by it not having an anger gain on it, so it might not see initial use. But I think
it's not going to be. Yeah, it's going to be more like those red utility energy decks that are running in leagues more than anything. And a couple.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because there's a ridiculous amount of anger gain in this set, and you're going to want to control it, and this is just the perfect way to control it. And what's great is this also goes against the other red drill that we saw before. So if you lower your anger 1 to lower their anger 2, they pop their drill to get their anger back, and then this hits, you lower their anger again anyway. So it's a really good card.
I would disagree that we've seen a lot of anger gain in this set. I think it's mostly just been anti-anger cards, more anti-anger cards for each style, just so that way you have a few more answers. And most of the anti-anger cards that have been received are like they're not applicable in every deck either, which is exactly how it should be. So.
And maybe I'll take that back. More along the lines that I think FanZ in general has just a lot of anger cards. So in general, this is just a really solid card. To have all this anger hate is pretty solid right now, I think.
Yeah. But that was the end of the red style. Oh, sorry. That was the end of the red style here. Overall, I think red got. I kind of don't like the entire all that focus on alien trait shit. Personally, I'm not a biggest fan of that. But it's good. It's not bad. It's good. It's just not my preference. So I don't really have anything to say other than that, I guess.
I definitely like the anger gain or the attitude drill. Attitude drill is awesome. I like the name manipulation. I thought that was really cool. And I just like that Freeze is getting a lot of support this the set in general.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I know Red Freezes. I like Amp Freezes, so it's gonna be fun. We get into Saiyan here. So Trevor, I'm really looking for your input on this one. So like Mark had a lot to say about the orange. I feel like Trevor's got a lot to say about Saiyan, because I know Trevor's been doing a lot of testing with Saiyan. But we got Saiyan Monk Drill. When this drill enters play, look at your opponent's hand. That's pretty cool. Your style attack still +1 life card damage. Awesome. So you're going to be kicking out a lot more crit damage. A lot of like Saiyan energy attacks steal 4 life cards, like Pinpoint and aerial attack. You got stuff like Saiyan Demolishing Beam that does 3, but a lot of cards are gonna really like this. Saiyan Energy is gonna like this a lot. But it also has an instant power. Use after one of your effects destroys cards from your life deck. Rejuvenate the bottom 2 cards of your discard pile and destroy the top 2 of your opponent's life deck. I like everything about this card. honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I like the push towards Saiyan Destroy effects that I'm seeing.
It fits super well in like this Saiyan style in general. Bardock got a huge push from it.
Yep, absolutely. I played against Ty Tracy running Bardock today, and with this drill, and I had to kill. I just didn't even want this card to ever be in play. So, Goku likes this card because KO can destroys 3 period, and then raises your anger 6. So you get to destroy 3 off your deck, and they immediately rejuvenate 2 cards from your pile and destroy 2 from your opponent's deck. So that's pretty cool. That'd be a cool little combo. I'm looking forward to Drill Coup this set, honestly. I was talking to Azareth Strafe at Kenosha about this. So cool card though. Durance 2's cool. Let's see. We got Saiyan Bear Hug. This card is fucking awesome. Villains only. When this card's destroyed from banished from your life deck, you raise your anger 1 and rejuve it. So it's always going back in your deck. It's also physical attack. If you destroy cards from a player's life deck this combat, use a crit damage effect. Destroy the top card of your life deck to destroy the top card of your opponent's life deck. Hit resume.
Still Bardock.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
And you can also run Saiyan Studying with this, and it works because Saiyan Studying reveals from the life deck, so you can reveal Bear Hug. And if they don't choose Bear Hug, you get another Raise Your Anger and immediately rejuvenate it.
I just like that it goes off no matter what. Like with Mill looking like it might come back a little bit more, or with Mill being in this game at all, this immediately goes back in your deck and gives you anger. I mean, that's super cool. This is the kind of card I wouldn't mind seeing in black, like we were talking about earlier. I really like it. Good card. I love that it gives you a crit effect if you destroyed cards. That's super cool. That's probably the best part about it to me.
And it's from a player's life deck, not just your own, which was most of the theme kind of was.
Yeah, I think Saiyan's going to get a mastery next set that plays around Destroy. Effects off
Yeah, you're probably right. This card's so weird.
Yeah. So we got Saiyan Chop as the next card. Physical attack, shuffle top X of your discard pile into your life deck. X is your MP's level. Damage AT 3 stages. Hit, your opponent cannot play non-style as this combat. Banish after use. This card's awesome. This is going to be one of those...
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those cards that you like have to stop in certain I hate... It's good that it's a hit effect. And I like that it does shuffle. This is going to be a great dynamic card. More than anything, probably. But it's a good card. I like it. I like that. Even the immediate effect is good enough to put it in a lot of decks. It's going to be hard that you could even slot in some rampaging beats anger ones that they're going to have to like stop this attack. So.
I've been trying this in my Rampage and Broly, and it's been kind of meh. If it said rejuvenate the top X, I would be perfectly fine with it. It says shuffle, which is the only thing that deters me off from it.
That's yeah, and that is the goofy part about it. Is most Saiyan cards are rejuvenate, so.
And there's a bunch of effects that require rejuvenation for effects to go off. There's rarely any that do shuffle.
Yeah, specifically for Saiyan Broly too. Like he really needs the rejuve, so.
I mean, the shuffle is nice to get all the rejuve cards back up on top for all you rejuved, but I mean, it's not cards you really...
And that's what's goofy. The shuffle makes you almost want to sequence it late in a lot of Saiyan decks that are going to be rejuving, so...
Which you don't want to, because the head effect makes it so you want to use it now.
Yeah. It's really weird. It's kind of odd. Will it see play? I think so, but like Trevor said, I think I could see myself...
And it's also banish after use, so it's like, well, if you don't get the hit, it's immediately done. You can't rejuvenate it back.
Yeah.
It's a one and done.
And no endurance on it either, so... Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think it will see some play, but it's like a card I can see myself cutting right away. I don't really need it. It's immediate. It's like the decks that are going to get most value out of the shuffle are going to be like Draku, who can get up to 4, but then he can just go to Tutor Key Burst and get better non-style hate, so...
Just Tutor, nevertheless.
Yeah. Oh well. I don't know. It's an okay card. Saiyan Tandem Strike. I really like... This is a great card. Great Goten card, because it gives you... It's a physical attack with Endurance 1. If you got the human trade, you can destroy top card of your life deck to gain 5 stages. 83 physical, hit search your life deck for a style drill and play it. Banish after use. Great card. Going to see use in Goten, Kid Trunks especially, because they both have drills they want to grab. Bardock could use it to grab Mach Drill. Goku running Droku package is going to love this card. Really good. I don't know. A pretty plain card, honestly. Same cards are pretty plain this set, for the most part. Our final Saiyan card. We're just flying through Saiyan here because they're again Saiyan got just really bland stuff. It feels like this set.
I love Sludge Bomb though.
This card's good though. If it's
card's
rejuvenated
awesome.
during combat, you could banish it instead to choose 2 cards in a player's discard pile and banish them. Endurance 1. The rejuvenation, I like that effect. I like that they gave Saiyan some pile hate, and it gives you. It just makes rest. This is just like more utility effects, like with that, like Saiyan Rescue can use, like this in Back Crash. I really like. But then you get to the interesting part is that it's an energy attack that costs 2. Endurance can't be used on this attack. Damages 5 life cards, and then if you hit, you can raise the lower player's anger 1. So this card could potentially be a 2 anger lower swing, which is really cool.
Rare Pageant's a 3 anger swing, no matter which way it goes. And if you're doing Bio Broly, that's 7 life, no endurance at least. If you're on level 3 or 4. And it's not banished after you, so you can rejuvenate it, put it back in the deck, or you can use it right away and banish any 2 cards. It's not just specific cards, it's any 2 cards, which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't...
It's going to view it with Gigantic Meteor and cherry pick Sludge Bomb. Gigantic Meteor just becomes a banished 2 from the opponent's discard pile.
Yeah, I was just say one decent thing. I could see like Eric Ing could be running. I could see him maybe slotting this card in to set up his pile for the Mastery Rejuvenation, or for like Kid Trunk's Weakness Drill could get some good use out of this card. But good card.
Like the added effect of just endurance cannot be used, which is automatically alright. That's awesome, and it's already at crit range. Which if it hits, it's going to crit with no other modifiers.
What I like is you could modify this, whereas like Saiyan Rapid Fire you couldn't modify. But Saiyan Rapid Fire, yeah. So this and Saiyan Rapid Fire are going to make Saiyan Energy really good at just like chipping out here and there.
And then Endurance 1 for icing on the cake.
Yeah. I mean, Endurance is just... I mean, even without Endurance, this would have been a pretty decent card, so... I don't know. Saiyan Energy looks better. Saiyan Drill and Energy are kind of... Well, no. Saiyan like, Self-Mill, Drill, and, like, kind of, like... Energy kind of got a little buff there. We'll see. I think Saiyan Drill... Saiyan Oppressive Drill Coup... again, a deck that me and Azareth talked about, but Azareth was making it and playing it. He had a pretty good build. I think that's going to be a really good deck. So, guys, we're just going to jump right to... here's kind of our final thoughts of the set here. I'm going to let Mark go off first. We've been talking a long time. So go ahead, Mark.
Oh, man. So, man, you got me in such a negative mood. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. Seriously, I mean, and another big part of why I brought Mark on, and I'm glad Trevor's here too. Joey had to go to it, of course, but a big part of why I brought Mark on is because I know he has very different opinions than me about this set. And if you notice on Retro, I posted about how I'm optimistic about the set. Mark is kind of more on the other end of the spectrum. So, anyway.
So I'm going to try and make it positive. It's going to be difficult.
It doesn't have to be positive. Just like it needs to just not be like.
Yeah. So basically, I don't. I appreciate a lot of what they did. I don't appreciate a lot of what they did. I like Legendary Blast. It's an amazing card. I think that's really cool. I'm glad they're starting to implement effects to counter Mischievous Mastery. I don't like all the reprints. I like the pushback to energy over physical. I don't like certain design elements of this set. I'm really bored with the options they gave us for MPs, and that was a big MPs are what make me, like I said, makes me get back into the game. This was the first set, even before or set 8. Like this is the first set I wasn't excited for, and it might be the boring MPs, but overall, I'm not particularly thrilled about this set. I'm still remaining optimistic about the next set being great when we get in about 4 or 5 years. But for now, I'm not a big fan of what we have. I'm trying not to be negative. There are elements of this that I really appreciate. I really appreciate the devs obviously continuing this game.
What parts of the set do you like?
Legendary Blast I thought was a really cool card. Coordinated Efforts again is another really cool card. I think they're both relatively unique effects. We've seen things similar to coordinated effects in the past. It's more of an amalgamation of 2 different cards coming together, and one particular thing for allies. I thought that was pretty cool. I like Legendary Blast a lot. It's just the anger hate. It's free. Anybody can use it, so it's pretty solid.
So you like the freestyle cards? So like, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I like the direction that a lot of the freestyle cards took because a lot of them are pushing new playstyles.
Definitely like that we're going back towards an energy meta. I think energy metas are more fun. They're less boring than physical beats. People might agree, people might disagree. I've always been a physical beats player, but having actually finally experienced a fully physical beats meta, or at least close to a fully physical beats meta, I couldn't stand it. So I'm glad we're going back that way. So that's definitely another element that I enjoy.
I would agree to that too. I always wanted physical beats to be good in the early sets, and then it's like kind of like score. If you've ever played Score or Retro Z, like the physical beats decks are so degenerate. They put out a million actions, they do a million fucking damage, and that's kind of where we got by the end of Panini Z with Empowered Broly, and that deck just like proceeded to soar and kind of reign in king until Adapt Beats kind of really caught up with it. And we've seen Adapt Beats kind of supplement it. Saiyan Beats for the longest time, and then you kind of seen Red Ruthless sneak in there. Blue Resourceful I think has a lot of potential this set with its tools that it got to become a tier 1 up there as well.
Absolutely. Yep, I'm looking forward to that. I really like that mastery. It's got some unique effects to that. I appreciate the design of that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree with that part.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, dang, physical decks can just be like ridiculous. Like they just are so like flip of the coin feeling. Unlike Energy Beats, Energy Beats doesn't really feel like that until you get to like 18 and to a lower extent Yamcha. When everybody's doing the same thing, it felt so bland. The set 11 meta felt so bland. Supreme Kai stopping everything. Physical decks just doing stage damage. It just felt bland. There was counterplay in it. It was fun, but there were elements of it that were just so bland. And I'm glad that we're moving away from that because I think this is going to open up the meta significantly. It's going to bring back old MPs that we're not seeing anymore. Or like Yamcha obviously could have been used, but since physical beats might not be as relevant, he's definitely going to be a lot more relevant now. So it's going to be pretty cool.
20 coming back with the scouting drill being a thing again.
Android 20 could definitely see, and that's the thing. I think Android 20's got a decent match against physical, especially in orange, because all the orange blocks and the high PUR he's got are very good reasons to run him.
Scouting drill is fantastic
Scouting drill is gonna be really good. So I'm just kind of flicking over the MPs right now, and and I'm going through a lot of cards, and I was planning on doing the freestyle cards kind of as their own thing, but we got in such a long discussion about a few of them. So I'm just kind of flipping through them. We're laughing at it because we seriously spend like over an hour talking about them, but
that's pretty gross.
And it was just not doable to actually put in a video unless people wanted to listen to us argue about the same shit. But if you want a summary, you can check out the Retro DBZ discussion Facebook page, and you can just search for Frank DeLuca, Mark Bulgarat, and you can find some of our banter.
Wrap it up.
Some of our banter. We need to have. I wish Joey was here to make a Civil War meme and then put malicious intent, banish after use. No, and that would be the best thing in the world.
I'll pose it on retro.
I'm gonna ask Father Joey, or unless Mark's gonna make it, but I don't know if you're done, Mark. I think you had maybe. I don't know if you want to say a couple more things or not. But I was gonna maybe hop into.
I mean, there's not much more to say. Like, I think that people are going to enjoy it or they're not going to enjoy it. Like, it's just a matter of everybody has preferences, like we said, and that's not going to get that hour-long fight. Everybody has preferences. You can't agree on everything, and even though I've given myself a relatively bad reputation on the boards, I do appreciate a lot of the people who play this game, and I do appreciate a lot of the people who are willing to put up with my nonsense. So I like the set, well, I don't want to say I like the set. I'm just in a better mood. I'm somewhere in between on the set, and I'm really hoping next set's going to be a lot better.
So I suppose yeah. I guess you mentioned the things that you don't like and you dislike, or sorry, you do like. So I mostly got those things. So you really just don't like a lot of the recycled design you felt, right? Would you say? And then.
And I don't even dislike malicious intent, but I'm not going to go into it too much more. And there's just some things I feel need care that I just don't feel like I see there. Obviously, that doesn't mean that they don't put that in there. That's my personal preference. I just don't feel like I'm seeing the level of care when it comes to design. Maybe they feel the complete opposite. Maybe they spend a lot of time designing these things, and I don't know what goes into that element because I am left in, forget it. So, I just don't know what their thought process is when it comes to something like this. So they could have really tried hard, and I don't want to shit on them because they did take the time to make this for us.
Everyone appreciates what they do for their community, even if we don't like some of the decisions they do.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
OP season schedule. Anybody? Okay.
The only thing I truly dislike was North Kai, but I mean that's just whatever at this point.
Oh, Nick, where are you for this?
Oh, Nick.
One of the best experiences I've had with DBZ in recent memory that happened this weekend is just Nick. Just Nick going off drunkenly about North Kai is the best thing in the world. Holy shit, he's such a fucking troll, but I love it so much. Trevor, how do you feel about the sets? I know.
I'm actually going to be on the opposite of Mark. I am liking the way they're taking these copy cards and just putting a little bit of different flavor on them. As long as they don't do that too much, and like hopefully certain cards don't get copied on other styles, because there's some like red static shot being blue static shot. I think that's fair, but giving that to something like Saiyan, like a Saiyan static shot, I think that would be way too OP for something like that. So as long as they don't start doing stuff like that within these copy cards this next set, I am liking they're doing more blue decap effects. I'm glad they changed some parentheticals because there was definitely some busted interactions I got through with the original way their stuff was.
Yeah, I forgot what they were, but
it was just a simply banish it and you just play from the discard pile and it gets around shopping drones. That's everclear banish.
That's right. That was the orange one. Got around shopping drone or something. Yep, that's right. Oh, silly. Good old orange getting around orange. Isn't that the best?
Mm-hmm. I think everyone bashes on orange a lot too, within fair reason, just because it's just orange is a style. It's like, oh, they don't have this yet. Let's give it to them. Do they realistically need it? No. But do they have it now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the power of orange in general? Wasn't that the same thing that happened in Score? It's like, I think that
they just always were based around drills. I don't think there was ever an orange deck that didn't use drills. The best orange decks ended up all using like Orange Majin Buu Saga, and they just drill flooded, and then they'd had a couple different strategies. It kind of they had similar strategies to actually like freestyle drill at different points, like carpet attack technique and stuff.
Okay. I am excited for testing when Bio Broly goes in Utah, man. I hope I can showcase that deck off because that thing's nasty.
Yeah, you've been playing impressive, haven't you, or rampaging?
Rampaging.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty damn good. He's got a good looking stack.
I can't wait to showcase it. I'm super excited to unleash this deck.
Yeah, I think his weakest level is 2 in that new stack, though.
I agree.
Oh no, his weakest level is 4. His level 2. Okay, I do want to. I just want to say the interaction that I love doing. Going from level. Okay, so first off, level 1, if Saiyan Burst hits and you have one style card in your discard pile, it's an instant level up for just one card. Because Saiyan Burst, raise your anger 1, choose a card, rejuvenate it. Broly's power, raise your anger 2, Rampage and hit effect, raise your anger 1, level.
Yep, that's true.
Broly, rejuvenate 2, search out Saiyan Enrage, get Saiyan Enrage out, play a card, raise your anger 1, hit, raise your anger 1, Enrage, level to 3, rejuvenate bottom 2, Broly level 3 gets a crit from the rejuvenate bottom 2, so you get a crit effect, draw a card. Broly level 3, reveal 2 cards to draw another card, so you got 3 cards in hand, all you need is 4 anger to level up. Again, to level 4. Like, Saiyan Enrage is a win condition in this deck.
Does Saiyan have oh, I guess it does.
I would definitely run it like you're running it, totally. Like, yeah.
I also run Saiyan Recovery because that's just super good, and then I run a pregame.
Yep, I'd run those. I would run Recovery. I'm trying to think of what else. There's got to be some other setup I thought about. I think there's another setup where there's
I had a transformation drill in there, but my deck it's super aggressive to not even want transformation drill in there.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the utility just in case they get a drill set up against you or whatever, but I found that as not reliable because I've been entering first turn every combat, getting to level 3. That's how broken the stupid deck is. Okay, I wouldn't say broken, but the combo potential of just as long as your attacks hit is just like unreal.
Sounds kind of like Goten. I mean, how does it do against protective? Is it good? Does it have a good protective game, or is it a little bit harder?
Yeah,
it's protective. You're not aiming towards that PPV. You're aiming towards level. I aim towards level 3 and do beatdown because I do hybrid beats. I have 20 physicals, 20 energies.
Okay,
And
so
level 2, I can camp on level 2 because every time I rejuvenate, I'm gaining those stages instantly back. I also have a Raditz ally, another card to pick and rejuvenate, and search for another setup. And Raditz ally is not dead in your hand. You can get that, rejuvenate the sludge, banish sludge, banish 2. And you have more stages for Raditz, so Raditz can now start doing other energies. And you can search for Sand and Rage. That what?
Raditz can only grab styled only.
So you're running. So
yeah, sludge. Saying what's its bucket? Sludge bomb is styled.
So how are you? Wait, sorry. You brought up the. I kind of tuned out a little bit. You play Raditz in it. Interesting. Because you can play him from hand to rejuvenate a setup, which is cool.
Rejuvenate. I get a crit from rejuvenation. Where if I'm on level 3. If I'm level 1, rejuvenate, styled, raise my anger 2.
It is nice that you. It is nice about him that you can play him from your hand at any point. The Raditz ally, and then
cherry pick.
And then if you're at 0, you go use him to get a setup right after. That's pretty cool.
It's really interesting because everybody's under-teching for energy beats right now, and I don't understand why.
Because nobody was playing energy beats at the end of the set, really. Not too many people.
Yeah, but like when you're adapting for a set 12, like I already changed all of my blocks over because I'm kind of assuming.
Yeah, my block package has been switched in most of my decks too. Energies are going to become more important.
I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing that at events where people are still going to be paying for physical subs.
It just depends on if people adapt to it or not, I think.
Yeah.
Like, people, it's kind of like, remember, the classic Panini Z was that everyone played Knowledge Piccolo at Texas Regional instead of playing anything from Evolution. Or anything from Vengeance. Nobody played 13 or Broly or Cooler. Everybody just played Knowledge Piccolo, and like 16 Knowledge Piccolos in like the top 20.
I mean, they're still good. There's still going to be super good decks. It's just not a lot of people like me have just put in so many hours of playtesting this new set. So they're going to go back to the old set with maybe putting 1 or 2 new cards in it, which is still perfectly valid.
What's the next event coming out that sorry, what's the next event that's going to have set 12 legal?
Utah this weekend.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's good. I'm genuinely curious if anyone's going to run is going to become the meta.
Yeah.
I'm guessing some sort of Frieza deck.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'd love for Frieza to be top tier, but I don't think that's ever going to be top tier.
I think I don't know. Frieza's looking really good for this set.
Yeah, Frieza definitely got some good support.
So other than you really enjoying Sam Broly, like I said, overall you like this set? You like the direction? Would you say?
I like the direction this set's going. They just need to be careful with the copy stuff, because if you put the wrong attack and the wrong color per se, it can become super broken than it ever meant to be.
Yeah, that's fair. To make it short, like I said, we all have been discussing this for a couple hours. We actually took a break. That's why it's going to be a weird cut. But ultimately, our biggest, I think, point of discussion was ended up being malicious intent. And ultimately, my views on this set, I like the direction of almost every card in this set. I like the direction that Black, Saiyan, Red, and Blue all took. Orange, their cards are helping the energy archetype that I already think was strong enough. That's my opinion. I don't think it needed any of the cards it particularly got for the energy boost. I think ultimately Palm Charge maybe could have had a detach clause. Honestly, because of just like the strength of Orange energy. We talked about all the modifiers and stuff. That to me, that is like probably that card and Malicious Intent were probably the most divisive cards between people on Retro as well.
Mm-hmm.
Malicious Intent, I feel, is a card that I was super surprised it didn't have Banish After Use on it. If you check Retro and you check the memes, of course, I'll show you right now. Malicious Intent should be Banished After Use. Malicious Intent shouldn't be Banished After Use. Civil War.
Oh, that'd be a great meme.
It's a card that we'll have to watch and see how it grows over time, for sure. I think that is ultimately what my conclusion with discussing with Trevor and Joey earlier and Mark is that I want to see how this card goes before I slap a BAU on it. But Trevor and Mark are admittedly more in the camp of like, I don't even want to have to worry about it. And so I think this would be a card that will be very interesting. I'm really curious to see who tests this. It's up to us as people who play this game to bust this card and so that we get it nerfed. So I call upon everyone who's watching this video, who's made it this far, to do this one favor for me and settle the debate for themselves.
Well, listen, I've already been proven wrong. I know I'm going to eat my fucking words in a month, and I don't care.
I don't know. Like, I'll ultimately say this.
Not in Retro.
I'm just really glad that I have, two people that obviously, Mark, I know you care about the game. I know you crap on it all the time, but I know you do out and Trevor, of course, being someone that is proven that he is very adept at making multiple styles work for him and being an excellent deck builder, being a tournament qualifier, a power qualifier, being the highest power level earner by just going out and whipping everyone's ass across the whole 50.
I gotta do it again. Gotta start in Utah.
I think you should really take our their opinions seriously in the sense that we're all, and even myself, I think we all are very caring about this game, and we have our critiques with the set. Some of them are personal preference, some of them are legitimate concern. Ultimately, for me, I really enjoy the design of MPs like Bojack. I think he has a good power scaling as he levels. I think there's incentive to play leveling with him. Same with Broly. They both scale, I think, well. I think they're going to see a lot of play because of the resurgence of energy beats, which both of them push. This entire set brought in some more combat enders. We have to talk about Purunga and how insane this card is going to be.
I love it.
In so many decks. Control, Knowledge, Namekian. There's like blue with Waiting Drill. This card is insane how much potential it has. And it's only going to get better. I have to go to Tommy Andre. I actually had some discussions about this card with Tommy at Mike Teague's place when he stayed with us for Kenosha. Super cool card. I can't wait to see how you all play this. I really don't think I should go off too much about these freestyle cards because I think they're going to be, and even the MP sticks, they're just going to have a lot of wait and see where people go with them. Reinforcements. I mean, Mark, I know. Mark, how do you feel about this card? Mark is kind of like, about this card. I like it. I don't know. I'm glad that it's as strong as it is personally. I know a lot of people want it stronger.
I guess I'm in the camp. I always liked ally decks. I didn't play Score, so like I was never introduced to anything from Score. I never had any mindset from that. I never found overpowering attack to ever really be an issue. And I always liked Ginyu. I always liked Gohan. I always liked running those weird obscure ally decks that needed OPA. And I just don't feel like Reinforcements is going to be the card that replaces it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm half asleep, so I don't know if I'm making my point clear anymore.
That's fair. Coordinated Efforts, of course, being another card I think is going to be really interesting. That's another card I want to see how people use with that. Malicious Intent, Purunga are going to be cards that I think are very going to be interesting to see who breaks them.
Yeah, I think Purunga is incredibly interesting. I can't wait to see that either.
Legendary Blast. I know Mark loves this card.
It's okay. I think people either search Legendary Blast or Stare Down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. It's either, all right, do I care about the Stare Down matchup too much? Not really.
The Mischievous Mastery hate is where I'm really...
Yeah, there's a bunch of Mischievous Mastery hate this set.
Namekian got the most of it, needed it the most for Enlightened, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely.
I was very surprised to see that much almost hate against just one Mastery, and, well, pointed at, implied against one Mastery.
Yeah. We have a Meta Titan in the sense of TN level 1 is going to be definitely very interesting. I feel like he's not gonna. It kind of feels like with the people that he got released in the push of the cards that he's not gonna necessarily get the most use now. Like if he had been out for the last set, he would have been meta because of Vegeta and Supreme Kai.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I was actually just thinking that too. It's just that he's not
Just a little late.
like Supreme. Like, is Supreme Kai gonna still have a place in this meta? I mean, or is he done? Like, can he keep up with the extreme energy beats that's coming? Is there extreme energy beats? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you kicked me from Octagon, you son of a bitch. Oh, I have to update.
I'm in my game, man. I'm not going to sleep now. Shit, I gotta wake up in 3 hours.
Yeah. I think this 10 level is gonna be interesting to see. He's just gonna be really meta, and people will make decks with him. I think still, but I think he's. We'll see what happens. Just to round off too. I mean, we talked about the MP levels a little bit. Bojack, of course, I just think looks really interesting. I think he's gonna be. I think he's got a decent power. We'll see how people use him. I think he's got some good potential, but will he be tier 1? I think he's a tier 2 MP, but maybe a tier 1 player. Deck builder can make him tier 1. We'll see. That's how I feel about him. I don't know about you guys. I know Trevor's already talked about Broly. I think Broly has definitely got potential to be tier 1 because he's already got a lot of support and scene that is going to go really well with him. I think that's going to be the best for him, but I might be wrong on that one, so don't quote me.
I could honestly be wrong too. Just get shit stomped in Utah. Be like, well, shit.
Exactly.
Well, that's I think is going to be the biggest thing is what happens, who brings what counters what, how much anger hate's really going to be relevant because I mean,
how much is going to rely on Bojack's name card and Blue Neck Beam.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a deck I'm going to be facing too.
Galactic Buster is going to be a big thing. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things happening here, and it's
Galactic Buster being a card that we haven't touched yet, but yeah, oh my god, is this card amazing. I've been playing with it. It is so good. I'm scared of this card if I'm going to be playing in a meta with this card, honestly. Like, this is good enough to run Bojack, honestly, right here, I think.
I'd agree with that. I think that his name card is absolutely disgusting.
I'd say his name's sweet and malicious intent make him playable. If he didn't have malicious intent...
Do you think nefarious intent is any good other than just banishing it?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I've been playing him in Resolute, and no, because I can run Static Blast now. I literally only search it to kill it with level 2, so, which is awesome. Which is an awesome combo. I think Amplified Bojack's really cool too. Richard
Amplified.
Joshua Wells has been playing it on Octagon.
The only complaint I have is that the full Bojack suite is all on just one ally card, unlike where the other sets, each ally was on a different personal ally, but this one's just all crammed into one.
Yeah. I like Team Bojack a lot. I think it's really...
Yeah, I like the person. It's just I don't personally like it where, all right, Bojack has a bunch of allies, right? Nope. It's all on one card.
Fuck it, you don't get Kogu.
I don't like that though.
Yeah, no picture of Kogu either.
Babidi. He has more variety. You could start running the other allies, so you get them all on one, and you have more space.
I like that they didn't make him an ally MP though. We don't need any more right now. Like Frieza and Babidi and Gohan. I don't know. I'm just glad like they didn't just turn him into 13.
I could see that point as well, actually.
Yeah, just in terms of variety.
Someone saying he's a worse 13 online. I don't know who it is.
He's not.
I don't think he's 13 at all.
People have been saying that. No, he's not. Like people expected him to be 13. People expected him to be worse 13, but Team Bojack. Honestly, my favorite part about the card has been the leave play crit. I've gotten so much use out of that leave play crit. I can't even begin to tell you.
And he has a PR of 3, which isn't it 3?
Yep, it's pretty good.
The only one that has Beerus with 2, right?
And everyone else is 1. I think there's another ally that has a PR of 2. Purunga, I think, has a 2. No, he's got 1.
Vegeta has 2, Purunga, and Beerus.
Yep. Purunga has 1. I lied.
Purunga has 1? I thought there was another one that has 2.
I thought there was another one too. I can't remember. It was a...
I don't think so.
I don't know. Might be wrong. Of course, we got a couple allies to set. I know we're kind of breaking up like our opinions about the set, but I guess we really should just touch these final cards, and then I'll kind of you pretty much got a gist of our opinions anyway. Like we feel like for the most part, like I mean, 2-second summary from me is like I like the direction. There definitely are maybe a couple cards that we'll have to see mainly the orange in the couple of the freestyles to see how they get used.
Mm-hmm.
That's the summary of my opinion on that. And Trevor likes this. I'd say so. You like the set. You're just watching out for a couple cards. And Mark's kind of like, eh. Some of these cards I don't really like what they're doing, and I'm definitely watching out. Either way, it looks like we're all kind of watching to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
If that's something we can agree on, I suppose. After.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this is a. Let's just see what happens. Everything's changing with the set. You can't argue that. I mean, there should be significant changes coming.
Yes, absolutely. The final three things we're gonna go over: Goten, Ally. Why did this need to be made? Dear God, this is coming from me fresh after playing Eric playing OP Kid Trunks on me. Please no more. Please no more, Daddy.
Please no more.
What's in my Kid Trunks right now, and it just I had 3 combats where I was so far ahead. I think it was against the Bojack too. I just did so much fucking damage. I entered blinding. Next turn, drew Goten. Entered Goten. Next turn, drew Ball 7. Entered Ball 7, and I just killed him that way. It shouldn't happen. Goten's too much.
Yeah, I just no more, please. I can't deal with the fucking skip, end shit anymore. I'm so sick of comment editors in this game. Like, they're like so necessary because of just beats being ridiculous, but god dang, like this is starting to turn into Scorsy, and I love it.
And that's super well.
Yeah.
The only bright side is it does make villain ally slightly more relevant. Can you use Paragus in a non-Saiyan to shut off combat?
Yeah, the Saiyan part is only if you can win. It just stops you from having your level lowered if you're Saiyan.
And you got to reveal, and then you got to reveal your hand.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that never happened. The effect
which now with the gigantic meteor, Broly has 9 reveal cards that do something when revealed.
Yeah, Saiyan Broly's fucking disgusting right now.
Yeah, that is gonna be definitely silly. We also have Goten Ally. Oh wait, I just literally talked about that. Fucking
tired.
Can we just talk about why he has a life card mod? Fuck my life, dude.
That's what concerns me. Probably almost as much as being a one-time combat ender.
And it's just all attacks too, not just certain ones. Just
I know.
Yeah.
I wish it was only styled
and pushed into the crit threshold, because if you could do poke and poke and fine, that's really annoying, but maybe you can come back.
Yeah.
But if now you're crit end.
I know it sounds like a buff to him, but it's actually a low-key nerf to like Eric's deck, because Eric has, if you're using Saiyan Sword Skill,
baby, that card's so good.
It makes your deck worse if you're on Goten, because then I can just let you smack me with a pinpoint and let it crit me, instead of getting pinpointed and saying crunched and then saying fucking insert other stupid ass low damage skip card and combat nonsense. Please stop.
Much bad.
Kid Trunks Ally. Would I run this? Yeah, I don't know.
Someone said, I was a little harsh on this, but like someone said at a good point, like if you play it, you can immediately use it. So like,
yeah, it replaces. It's like Red. So from like my Ascension Goten, it's like Red Relaxation is playable because it immediately puts the cards back in my hand. And for my build specifically, like I'm trying to answer every turn, so this could make it. The only problem with it is being freestyle and Ascension, but I think every other Goten is going to run this card but Ascension, because even Resourceful Goten is going to love this card, because then he can run Stylish Pose and get a good out. Like he'll have Chi-Chi and Kid Trunks and Ox King. Not that you want to run Ox King with Goten, that would be really stupid, but I don't know.
Gotcha.
This is like a low-key buff to Resourceful Goten, mostly, I think.
For sure.
But, and then we got Krillin. Oh, thank God, this card got a little bit of a nerf.
Did it? What's the change?
That Gohan doesn't get, because it's so if your MP has Human Trait, once per combat you can play him as an action to gain 5 stages of draw card. So Gohan Ally is going to still like this card, but this is still like this is kind of more of like a Goku evolution card that you're bouncing him. You can bounce him to keep getting stages and draw a card, which is super silly. And then if your MP has human trait and 2 or less traits. Oh fuck, never mind. Wait, no, wait, no. Because Gohan has 3 traits. We're fine. I thought I was reading it. I'm thinking it meant
Insane Earthling Namekian.
yeah, like Goku can still use this, but it turns into Earthball 6 or Namek 6, where it still does -2. So, thankfully, they made it so you had to have the 2 traits only or less. Because Gohan with this, I would just kill myself.
Yeah, that would.
Like people talk about Drill Krillin, you can still run both. I think you just can't play both, right?
No, you can't
You're
play
right.
both. You can't. No, you can't run. I don't think you can run both. You can only have one personality. I think. I don't know the rules. I don't think you can have 2 of the same.
It's been so long. Like I thought you could run both, still you just couldn't have them both out. I might be wrong.
What's the precedent with the Bulma ally? Can you run both Bulma allies in the deck or
That's
not?
what. That's why I was. That's how I would know. I don't know. Somebody
I don't
else.
remember that precedent.
I'm supposed to be a good player, and I can't even remember basic rules of the game because this game is so fucking convoluted.
It's also like 2:00 in the morning over here, and our brains are.
It's 3 for me.
We've been talking about cards for like 2.5 hours, so. So anyway, and then Tien Shinhan's targeting. We'll just fuck. I don't know why I'm talking about the name cards all of a sudden again, but we talked about Purunga leaving the combos out. Targeting is going to go in every Tien deck. Don't need much more to say than that. It's silly. Another Tri-Beam. Another one. Gigantic Meteor. Trevor loves this card. This is going to be really good. Really good card.
No matter it does something. No matter Didi is telling me that this card is not going to see play, and I'm just sitting here like, there's no way this isn't going to see play. No matter what,
Like
use the attack. Something's going to happen once you use the attack, no matter what. Blocked or like black. I always like running Black Energy Bubble if I can, because it's a card I can run. That's like, all right, I play it, or Black Dive. Just cards that when you play them, no matter what, some sort of effect is going to happen, even one block.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, I love those kinds of effects on cards like this. There's not too many of those, but I like the effect. Yeah. Hit, raise your anger 2, which is nice. 6 life cards, and Broly 3 or 4, it's 8. And then the reveal card, choose any card in my discard pile rejuvenated. This one isn't restricted to styled, which I'm surprised it didn't get that nerf.
Yeah.
So I think this,
it's going to be interesting. I think it's
any card.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Well, that was the final card to review in the set, and like I said, we've kind of we've looped around a bit and talked about our opinions on the set. This has mostly been informal and unplanned. It mostly broke down when we got to the freestyles, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of different viewpoints. Either way, I'm really glad I got to have both of you on. I haven't been able to do like a dedicated video with either of you two, so it was really nice, and hopefully anyone who's made it to the end of this, you really enjoyed this. I think no matter what, this set's going to bring change. I think we can all agree on that, and I'm really curious to see what everyone starts building. I don't know if I'll be posting too many deck lists for this set right away, because I don't want to give away too many combos, but I guess we'll see. I don't know.
No, I didn't want to give away too many combos in my deck before you top. Anyone's sitting here like, oh, here we go. There's Trevor's deck. How do I counter it?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I had this discussion with my Lambden. Is like, I see a lot of combos as obvious, but I also look at this game. I've spent way too much time looking at the cards for this game and like playing it. So, I don't know.
You can kind of get an idea of what a deck's going to do without having to really
play it.
Understand exactly. You have a full understanding of the card pool at this point. Like, the majority of us have been playing this game forever, so it's like you kind of know what a deck does, and you're very rarely taken by surprise at this point. You know?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Well, anyway, guys, I really appreciate the watch. We're gonna go either to bed or I'm gonna probably go play some Octagon with Mark. So take it easy. Maybe I'll upload this game after we just fucking blow our minds on more Z. So anyway, guys. Peace.